Chapter 1, Prelude to Divorce. Sisters, I no longer wish to persevere. I intend to divorce her, proclaimed Wu Feng within the WeChat group he shared with his 9 sisters. In that moment, he seemed to cast off the burden weighing heavily upon his heart. 3 years prior, compelled by an old man's promise, he relinquished the unparalleled glory of the underworld, abandoning all he once held dear to become the son-in-law of the Shao family. For these 3 years, he toiled in the filthiest and most exhausting tasks, consumed the poorest meals, and endured the most dismal treatment. He rose before the dawn, slept after the dusk, exerting himself tirelessly for the Shao family. Yet, all he garnered in return was the scorn and mockery of the Shao family. His wife never regarded him with kindness, and his mother-in-law's treatment bordered on abuse. Wu Feng's standing in the Shao family was lower than that of a dog. 3 years had passed, and Wu Feng had fulfilled the old man's promise without reproach. At this moment, a notification chimed on WeChat. The stunning eldest sister, Gu Xianxing, wrote, "Younger brother Feng, you have finally made this decision. From this day forth, I shall immediately pass on the position of chairman of the conglomerate to you." The formidable second sister, Long Yan, added, "Curse the Shao family. Younger brother Feng, as long as you command, your sisters will lead 3,000 warriors to annihilate the Shao family." The elegant third sister, Xiaochu Xian, consoled, "Younger brother Feng, do not weep. I shall transfer the villa, not yet registered, into your name." The composed fourth sister, Mu Jiajia, assured, "Little brother, fret not. You may freely enjoy my sports car, do not distress yourself too much." The graceful fifth sister, Wen Yue, offered, "Brother, I shall promptly introduce you to 10 campus beauties, surely 10 times more beautiful than that girl from the Shao family." The astute sixth sister, Chen Duo, stated, "There is nothing extravagant to gift you, dear sixth sister. Allow me to offer you several 100,000 shares of stock." The sweet seventh sister, Su Xiaonian, intervened, "Enough talk, seventh sister is on her way to pick you up. Tonight, you are mine." The beautiful eighth sister, Wan Xian, advised, "Ignore seventh sister for now. Come to my hospital first, I shall examine you." The charming ninth sister, Enqi, interjected, "Enough of your bickering. Wu Feng and I are childhood friends. If he divorces, he belongs to me." The clamor of responses from the 9 sisters filled the group chat, debating endlessly. Wu Feng's heart instantly warmed, reaffirming his determination. Divorce. Resolute divorce. Unhesitating divorce. With so many beautiful sisters doting on him, why should he endure the indignity of being an in-law to the Shao family? The old man's decision to marry me into the Shao family was likely a lapse in judgment, Wu Feng mused dryly, recalling the old man with stained teeth who only enjoyed watching movies. Both Wu Feng and his 9 non-biological sisters were raised by the old man. Perhaps due to the old man's favoritism, only Wu Feng inherited the old man's unparalleled medical and martial arts skills. At the age of 16, Wu Feng was sent by the old man to the Middle East as a mercenary. Over 5 years, he braved life and death, ascending to become the kingpin of the underworld with his extraordinary talents. Yet, one day, without a word of explanation, the old man brought him back from the Middle East, thrusting him into the Shao family as a glorified son-in-law. As for the reason, the old man had mentioned it before. The patriarch of the Shao family had saved his life in the past, and now, Wu Feng's marriage into the Shao family was to repay the debt of gratitude owed by the old man. Ever loyal and honorable, Wu Feng readily agreed. After marriage, his wife refused his touch, shunned the marital bed, resembling more a statue than a woman. Not long after Wu Feng's marriage into the Shao family, the patriarch of the Shao family passed away. Unable to bear witnessing Wu Feng's plight, his 9 sisters urged him to divorce Xiaoying. However, the old man issued a stern decree: Wu Feng must serve the Shao family for a full 3 years, even if it meant enduring humiliation. Thus, Wu Feng endured 3 years of ignominy in the Shao household. 3 years elapsed like an eternity. "Wu Feng, you scoundrel, what are you dawdling for? Hurry and come in to help my mother with her foot bath," echoed his wife Xiao Ying's roar from the living room. She lay reclined on the sofa, browsing through Weibo, her belly swollen as if carrying a 3-month pregnancy. Indulging in laziness, she attempted to lose weight solely through words. Meanwhile, her mother, Hu Yuping, soaked her feet, suddenly catching a whiff of smoke, her expression darkening. "Who allowed you to smoke in the living room?" she snapped at Wu Feng. Unmoved, Wu Feng replied with silence. Hu Yuping turned to her daughter Xiaoying, demanding, "Ying, what are you waiting for? Manage your spineless husband." Xiaoying didn't bother to lift her head, instructing, "Wu Feng, extinguish the cigarette, pour the foot bath, then kneel in the living room to scrub clothes until nightfall." Previously, Xiao Ying's words were akin to decrees for Wu Feng, never to be disobeyed. Even seemingly mundane commands carried an implicit threat. Wu Feng flicked the cigarette butt onto the ground, extinguishing it with his foot. Hu Yuping snorted disdainfully, ridiculing Wu Feng. Then, in the next moment, Wu Feng retrieved his cigarette case, boldly lighting another cigarette in front of them. It was a provocation, an overt challenge. Hu Yuping exploded, "You worthless scum, dare you smoke? Are you provoking us?" Wu Feng chuckled, "Have you always believed that I, Wu Feng, shamelessly married into the Xiao family?" These words incited the fury of the mother and daughter. Xiao Ying stepped forward, aiming a slap at Wu Feng, but he caught her wrist. "Let go of me." Xiao Ying winced in pain, surprised by the strength of this supposedly spineless man. Wu Feng released her wrist, pushing Xiao Ying back onto the sofa. Xiao Ying's wrist reddened, tears of grievance welling in her eyes. "Mother, life has become unbearable. This spineless man dares to bully me." Hu Yuping roared, "Are you insane today? How dare you strike my daughter? Even the dog in the Xiao family knows loyalty." Wu Feng sneered, "Well said. In these 3 years, I have truly been less than a dog in the Xiao family. While you luxuriated on holiday, feasting and reveling, I endured leftover meals every day, confined indoors. As you slept in bed, the dog slept on the sofa, and I was relegated to the floor. Forced to kneel in scrub clothes, not for any wrongdoing, but for your vain social media boasting. Is this a life fit for a human being? Are these actions befitting of humans?" Xiao Ying erupted, "Scoundrel, what right do you have to compare yourself to my dog?" Hu Yuping echoed, "You beast, I see you've had enough, tomorrow we'll divorce." Wu Feng squatted down, then suddenly lifted the foot bath basin. Witnessing this, the mother and daughter relaxed, assuming he had capitulated. Wu Feng stood up again, speaking emphatically, "Listen carefully, the divorce is because I, Wu Feng, reject Xiao Ying. I am divorcing her." The mother and daughter were dumbfounded. Then, in the next instant, Wu Feng poured the entire basin of foot bath water over the heads of the mother and daughter. Ah! Treason! Xiao Ying hadn't expected it, neither did Hu Yuping. How audacious could Wu Feng be? Not only did he douse them with foot bath water, but he also declared divorce in their faces? This is madness, sheer madness. Hu Yuping jumped up, shouting, her entire body saturated with the smell of foot bath water. "Wu Feng, you scoundrel, who gave you the courage to defy me?" Xiao Ying stamped her feet furiously. "Ha ha!" With a cigarette in his mouth, Wu Feng displayed his first smile in 3 years at the Xiao household. "You still find it amusing? Wu Feng! You're doomed!" Xiao Ying bellowed. "Knock, knock, knock." A knocking interrupted. Wu Feng turned, opening the door. A young woman in an ultra-short skirt, still wearing earphones and live streaming on her phone, entered. Xiao Ying and Hu Yuping were dumbfounded. Who was this? Chapter 2, Unexpected Infidelity? This individual is none other than Wu Feng's 7th sister, Su Xianyan, a beautiful live streamer with 1 million followers. Today, while Su Xianyan was live streaming, fans learned of the grievance suffered by her younger brother Wu Feng over the past 3 years, urging Su Xianyan to help her brother vent his frustration. So, Su Xianyan, with her live streaming phone, came to the Xiao family's residence. At this moment, the atmosphere in the live stream was lively. "Oh my, the situation is intense. I thought it was just a show, but it seems divorce is really on the table. Goodness, does anyone else feel like Xianyan's brother poured the foot bath water over his wife and mother-in-law's heads? Goodness, I can practically smell it through the screen, it's so pungent." Seeing the sudden intrusion of a stranger, the mother and daughter of the Xiao family's expressions changed. Who is she? Xiao Ying's keen sixth sense told her that this woman harbored hostility. "She is my..." Before Wu Feng could finish, Su Xianyan directly embraced Wu Feng's neck, then proceeded with a forceful kiss. Su Xianyan let out a coquettish voice, "You naughty brother, at this point, haven't you told them about our relationship?" In an instant, the mother and daughter were dumbfounded, feeling their minds go blank. The live stream exploded. "Oh my, oh my, oh my. I'm just speechless. Xianyan is ruthless, now divorce is inevitable even if they didn't plan it. Ah, this move is brilliant. Xianyan, you're risking your life with this live stream. Those who know the truth will understand, those who don't will think Xianyan is a homewrecker." Hu Yuping pointed at Wu Feng and cursed, "Wu Feng, you beast, you actually cheated. Wu Feng cheated. How is that possible? It's unthinkable. I haven't cheated, why would he? Xiaoying began to doubt life. A man who doesn't fight back or talk back, a man who works hard and bears all burdens. Wu Feng, actually cheated? The question is, Wu Feng has no money, no skills, who would be interested in him? Xiaoying felt that all the men in the world could cheat. But only Wu Feng doesn't deserve to cheat, because he's not qualified. Is that woman insane? She's interested in Wu Feng? Su Xianyan tightly hugged Wu Feng's arm. When I was with Wu Feng, you weren't even here, Xiaoying. Buzz. Xiao Ying's head buzzed, directly fainting on the sofa from the shocked daughter. Are you okay? Hu Yuping yelled as she embraced the sofa. Xiaoying, stop pretending to faint. Let's meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. After saying that, Su Xianyan grabbed Wu Feng's hand and turned to leave. Bastards, come back here. Hu Yuping shouted, dialing her husband's phone while chasing after them into the hallway. Through the hallway window, she clearly saw Wu Feng and that woman get into a BMW. Xiaowen asked, what's the matter with the call? Something happened, cheating, being kept, that little white face deserves to die. What did you say? Who cheated? Who's the little white face, who's being kept? The other end of the phone, Xiaowen was confused. It's Wu Feng. By now, Wu Feng was already speeding down the main road in Su Xianyan's BMW. Lighting a cigarette, Wu Feng revealed a joyful smile. How about it? Did seventh sister handle it beautifully? Su Xianyan asked Wu Feng. Wu Feng said, they must have misunderstood our relationship. Su Xianyan laughed, you're my little brother, of course I call you naughty brother. Since childhood, we've grown up together. If I say we've been together for a long time, is there a problem? Ha ha ha. Wu Feng nodded and laughed, no problem. Su Xianyan parked the BMW at a barbecue restaurant. She shook her phone, smiling. Afternoon's live stream, gift revenue exceeded 100,000, thanks to you, little brother. Seventh sister treats you to barbecue. Wu Feng's face turned awkward. Seventh sister, don't air our dirty laundry in public, why live stream it? Hee hee. Su Xianyan smirked, extending her arms to once again embrace Wu Feng's neck, leaning close to his ear, exhaling a fragrant breath. Seventh sister knows she was wrong. How about I kneel and wash clothes for you when we get home tonight? Wu Feng felt his scalp tingle, hastily waving his hand. Seventh sister, please, I can't handle that. Naughty brother. Su Xianyan turned and got out of the car. She held Wu Feng's hand and walked into the barbecue restaurant, their intimate appearance resembling that of a sweet couple. In an instant, they attracted the attention of countless patrons at the barbecue restaurant. Oh my, this beauty's long legs, remarkable. The woman holding hands with that man, isn't she the useless son-in-law of the Xiao family? What's going on? The Xiao family's useless son-in-law is out here picking up girls? And such a beautiful one? This doesn't make sense. This useless guy is infamous. Which woman would be blind enough to like him? Bang! A bald man slammed a bottle on the table, stood up, and blocked their path. Miss, do you know who this man is? He's a married man. You being with him. Su Xianyan smiled faintly. I know he's married, but what's the problem? Of course there's a problem, a big problem. The bald man roared, his facial muscles trembling. The bald man, nicknamed Bald Tiger, is the underboss of this area's barbecue joint, under the big boss Ma Yunlong. He has a dozen or so little brothers who eat and drink here without paying. Bald Tiger not only eats for free, but also demands money from the restaurant owner. He has two sayings. When I come to your house to eat, it's because I respect you. If you disagree, go talk to my big brother Ma Yunlong. I never overcharge when eating out, everything is clearly priced. There's a saying to describe Bald Tiger, infamous. Although Bald Tiger is not well known, he is a lackey around Xiaoying. His big brother, Ma Yunlong, has done many dirty deeds for the Xiao family. Bald Tiger often considers himself half of the Xiao family, and looks down on Wu Feng, this in-law. Bald Tiger angrily said, he's the Xiao family's useless son-in-law, a little white face who lives off his wife. He can't even get on his wife's bed. You being with him makes you a homewrecker. The Xiao family can easily take you out. Do you understand? After speaking, Bald Tiger grinned, if you're with me, I can protect you with just one word. Forget about barbecue, I can get you anything you want. Why bother with someone like him? Wu Feng is trash, he doesn't deserve you. Only handsome guys like me are worthy of you. Come home with me tonight. After speaking, Bald Tiger tried to grab Su Xianyan's hand. Chapter 3, Sister's Offering. Su Xianyan swiftly took refuge behind Wu Feng, clutching his hand tightly, the palms revealing tiny beads of sweat. With a disdainful snort, Wu Feng addressed his antagonist, "You dare to call me garbage?" "Yes," affirmed the bald man with a nod. Wu Feng continued coldly, "Then do you know why she would rather hold the hand of someone you deem as garbage, instead of walking with you?" "Why?" Bald Tiger scratched his head earnestly, pondering the question. A faint smile crossed Wu Feng's lips, then his expression turned serious, "Because, compared to you, even garbage is superior, you are unworthy." Laughter erupted from the barbecue area, resonating with the sound of numerous men. That retort is razor-sharp. The son-in-law of the Shao family is truly resolute. Bald Tiger, you're only harming yourself by picking a fight with him, serves you right. Ha, I'm laughing so hard my stomach hurts. Su Xianyan, hiding behind Wu Feng, was laughing so hard tears threatened to spill from her eyes. Bald Tiger pointed at Wu Feng, his facial muscles trembling. Being naturally prideful, Bald Tiger couldn't bear being mocked in front of so many people. Wu Feng continued, "I'm doing fine. If you have the time, go outside and take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Is your appearance worthy of your mother?" Laughter erupted once again from the barbecue area. "Ah, you little white-faced guy, I'll kill you." This time, Bald Tiger couldn't hold back any longer, grabbing a bottle from the table and aiming for Wu Feng's head. Crack! A crisp sound resonated. Bald Tiger's head split open, and a mixture of alcohol and blood flowed down his face. Instantly, a piercing scream echoed, "Ah!" Onlookers were shocked. What's going on? Wasn't Bald Tiger the one holding the bottle? How did Bald Tiger end up with a cracked skull? Is this guy really that powerful? Despite the presence of numerous men, women, and children, not a single person could discern how Wu Feng made his move or how he managed to retaliate with the bottle, cracking Bald Tiger's skull. In the eyes of many, Wu Feng was just a powerless and insignificant son-in-law who anyone could trample on. But, in reality, Wu Feng's true identity was that of an underground kingpin. Even the most powerful individuals in the world would falter in the face of Wu Feng. Bald Tiger, still unwilling to concede, roared angrily, "Wu Feng, you dare to strike me? You useless piece of trash, you're finished. My big brother, my Yunlong, won't spare you." Boom! Wu Feng's punch landed directly on Bald Tiger's chin, knocking it loose. Ah! Bald Tiger emitted another agonizing scream. "Wu Feng, you!" Boom! Wu Feng followed up with a spinning kick, sending Bald Tiger flying out of the barbecue area. This time, Bald Tiger was completely intimidated, stumbling to his feet and fleeing. "Well done, that's a good hit," someone in the barbecue area shouted. Following this, the barbecue area was unexpectedly filled with thunderous applause. While most people looked down on Wu Feng, they despised the bullying thug, Bald Tiger, even more. By striking Bald Tiger, Wu Feng had vented the collective frustration of everyone present. Wu Feng smiled faintly, "Everyone, Xiaoying and I have already divorced. From now on, please don't call me the Shao family's son-in-law. I, Wu Feng, don't seek trouble, but don't think of bullying me either." These words astonished the crowd. What? Divorced? That's incredible. Wow, no wonder Wu Feng was holding hands with a beauty. Wu Feng is quite impressive. Just divorced and already found such a beautiful woman. Amidst the crowd's amazement, Wu Feng and Su Xianyan took their seats. On the table were skewers of fatty pork, peanuts, and edamame beans, along with various other delicacies. The siblings enjoyed their beer and skewers. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The phone kept chiming with message alerts. Wu Feng picked up his phone to find notifications of successful stock trades. Congratulations on successfully purchasing 10,000 shares of Mount Hai Liquor. Congratulations on successfully purchasing 100,000 shares of Wulianye. Congratulations on successfully purchasing. Wu Feng couldn't help but smile wryly. The sixth sister is really going all out. Sixth sister Qian Duoduo was wealthy, known as the goddess of the stock market, and frequently moved between various brokerage firms. At that moment, Qian Duoduo sent a voice message. "Brother Phone, congratulations on finally getting divorced. Sister is in the Magic City and can't come back to congratulate you, so consider these stocks as my heartfelt wishes." Wu Feng replied with a voice message, "Thank you, sixth sister, I've received your good intentions. Don't just focus on work all the time. Come back when you have time." Xian Duo replied in another voice message, "Moi. Sister will come see you first when she's done with work." "Alright, we'll talk later." Wu Feng messaged back to Qian Duo. Then, the third sister, Xia Chu Xin, called directly, "Little brother, the villa is about to be handed over. I've already arranged for the name to be written in your name." Wu Feng shook his head helplessly. "Sister Chu Xin, I'm just getting a divorce, it's not like I'm getting married. When I got married, it wasn't this grand." "Ha ha." Xia Chu Xin chuckled from the other end of the phone. "Silly little brother, to us, your divorce is a cause for celebration, of course, we have to congratulate you." Alright, I'll accept it graciously." "Thank you, Sister Chu Xin." Xia Chu Xin said, "Sister is filming abroad, but I'll come back to see you as soon as I'm done. Goodbye, Sister Chu Xin." Wu Feng smiled and hung up the phone. Su Xianyan raised her glass. "This toast is from seventh sister to you, wishing you a successful divorce tomorrow and returning to singlehood." "Alright, bottoms up, thank you, seventh sister." Wu Feng raised his glass and emptied it. That night, the two siblings indulged in heavy drinking. When Wu Feng woke up again, it was already the next day. Beside him, seventh sister Su Xianyan was only wearing a thin nightgown. Her delicate feet rested on his chest, the toenails painted with translucent nail polish, giving them a crystal-clear appearance. Then came the murmur of Su Xianyan, "Feng, have another drink. Tonight, you belong to sister. Seventh sister, it's dawn, wake up." Wu Feng reached out to pat her perky buttocks, then looked towards the door, sensing a restless atmosphere. Years of professional experience told Wu Feng that someone must be outside the door. Instantly, he heightened his alertness. Quietly slipping out of bed, he grabbed a fruit knife from the kitchen. Then, he stealthily approached the door. With the fruit knife held in his left hand and the doorknob in his right, Wu Feng prepared for whatever lay beyond. Chapter 4, I have retreated, disturbances of war unwelcome. Clang. In the moment of opening the door, Wu Feng swiftly emerged. The black-clad man lurking by the door's side paled. The next moment, Wu Feng's blade was already poised at his neck. "Boss, it's me, Heizhan." The man spoke, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. "You're not in the Middle East battlefield, so why run to me upon hearing about Feng Zhen?" Wu Feng gave him a cold glance, slowly retracting the fruit knife. "Yan Luo, I heard you divorced, so I came here overnight to invite you back to the underground world. Seeing you busy, I didn't dare to disturb." Heizhan scratched his head. He was the vice master of the underground world, known as the Black Flame King, a meat grinder on the battlefield. However, in front of Wu Feng, he was always the obedient little brother. Because his life and everything he possessed were bestowed by Wu Feng. Wu Feng interrogated Heizhan, "What return? What underground world?" Heizhan looked puzzled. "Boss, you're the master of the 10 palaces, Yan Luo, the eternal ruler of the underworld. Have you forgotten?" Wu Feng shook his head. 3 years ago, I chose to retire. Now, you are the master of the 10 palaces." Heizhan's expression darkened. "Boss, Heizhan, will forever be your vice master. How could I have the virtue and ability to take on the role of master?" Wu Feng patted his shoulder heavily. "Then, Heizhan, you shall take good care of the 10 great temples for me, especially my second sister." 3 years ago, after Wu Feng became the master of the 10 palaces in the underground world, he married into the Xiao family, and thereafter Long Yan went to hone herself in the Middle East battlefield. While Wu Feng spent 3 years as part of the family, Long Yan eventually became the master of the Tianfeng Palace. However, to this day, his second sister Long Yan and even his other sisters had no knowledge of Wu Feng being the master of the 10 palaces. And Wu Feng had no intention of telling them. The past was in the past. "I understand." Heizhan nodded, turned, and walked away, a hint of loneliness in his figure. Wu Feng shook his head and sighed, watching Heizhan walk away. Of course, he also missed those brothers, but the decision he made would not be regretted. Since choosing to retire, he would not come out of seclusion again. "Xiaofeng, who came?" The voice of Su Xianyan, the seventh sister, suddenly came from inside the door. Wu Feng hurriedly entered the room, casually saying, "A friend of mine, heard about my divorce, came to see me." "How did he know you're here with me?" Su Xianyan, clad only in her undergarments, displayed her fiery figure, especially those long white legs, quite eye-catching. Wu Feng smiled and deliberately changed the subject. Seventh sister, could you please put on some clothes? It's early morning and you're like this? Otherwise? Su Xianyan retorted, I don't even wear clothes when sleeping at home normally. Wu Feng said, you're too unrestrained. Su Xianyan laughed, reaching out her hand to pat his shoulder, her words carrying a hint of flirtation. Seventh sister can be even more unrestrained in front of you, would you like to see? Creak. The door was pushed open, and a stunningly beautiful woman in police uniform walked in. Fourth sister. Wu Feng quickly spoke. It was Wu Feng's fourth sister, the stunning policewoman Mu Jejia. This house had 4 bedrooms and 1 living room, but only 2 sisters lived here. The seventh sister, Su Xianyan, and the fourth sister, Mu Jejia. The eighth sister was busy with work, mostly staying at the hospital, only occasionally coming home to visit. And the eldest sister, Gu Xinqing, lived alone. The fifth sister worked as a teacher at a university in the provincial capital, and the ninth sister traveled elsewhere. The second, third, and sixth sisters were all busy with their respective careers in other places. With 9 sisters, they were basically scattered all over. Fourth sister, you have time to come see me today? Su Xiaoyan said cheerfully. Mu Jejia said, don't be conceited, I came back to see my little brother, it's rare that he got divorced. Su Xiaoyan rolled her eyes, came back empty-handed so early in the morning? Mu Jejia raised the Porsche car key in her hand, is this considered coming back empty-handed? Wu Feng was astonished, my goodness, a Porsche. It's for you, divorce gift. Mu Jejia directly tossed the car keys to Wu Feng. Thank you, fourth sister. Wu Feng took the car keys, feeling somewhat amused and helpless. While others received gifts for marriage, his sisters insisted on giving him gifts for divorce. However, Wu Feng was accustomed to it. Mu Jejia wasn't the first to give him gifts. Finish your divorce papers soon, enjoy your freedom. I have tasks these days, I'll come find you later. Mu Jejia said, then turned and left. Goodbye, fourth sister. Wu Feng waved goodbye. After changing clothes and having breakfast with his fourth sister Su Xianyan, the two of them went out together. Downstairs, there was a fiery red Porsche 718 parked. So cool. The siblings got into the sports car. At the moment they grasped the steering wheel again. Wu Feng felt the passing of youth gradually returning. The once surging blood began to boil again. I never expected it. Fourth sister is so wealthy, she actually drives a Porsche. Wu Feng exclaimed. Su Xianyan said, it's all the red envelopes our old man gave us over the years. Wu Feng was confused, what's that? Red envelopes? Why don't I have any? You don't? Su Xianyan was surprised, every new year, our old man gives us tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands as pocket money. Fourth sister saves up and buys this sports car. She usually doesn't even let me touch it, now she's giving it to you directly, she's really biased. Su Xianyan said, looking jealous. Wu Feng shook his head, the problem is, the old man has never given me a penny for New Year's. Really? Su Xianyan laughed, no way? Wu Feng said, the old man is too much, too biased. If I have the chance, I'll definitely go argue with him. Su Xianyan covered her mouth and giggled. On the secluded path behind the Civil Affairs Bureau, dozens of private cars were parked. Inside the cars sat burly men with tattoos. The Shao family of 3 sat in the foremost used Land Rover. The person in the passenger seat was none other than Bald Tiger Big Brother, this bastard Wu Feng is. Just a pretty boy. Look at these injuries, all from him. Bald Tiger said. Sitting in the driver's seat was Bald Tiger's boss, also the man in charge of the barbecue city, Ma Yunlong. He didn't rush to speak, but turned his head to look at the Shao family of 3 in the back row. Shao inside, Hu Yuping remained silent, and Xiaoing kept her head down without a word. Ma Yunlong spoke, second uncle, second aunt, Inger, how do we handle this today? I'll listen to the 3 of you. Bald Tiger said, you can rest assured, big brother, my big brother has brought over 50 brothers today. Ma Yunlong pounded his chest, second uncle, you nod, second aunt, you speak, I guarantee we'll tear Wu Feng apart. Too much, it's just too much. Bald Tiger said, Ing Jia has been so good to Wu Feng, and he dares to betray you, dares to cheat on you. When I went up to argue, he even beat me. Stop talking. Xiaoing suddenly spoke, a surge of anger rising within her. I'll shut up. Bald Tiger obediently covered his mouth. Xiaoing raised her head and slowly spoke, Brother Yunlong, please break Wu Fang's legs later. I want him to spend the rest of his life kneeling in the Xiao family's dungeon, like a dog of mine, Xiaoying. Ma Yunlong slapped his chest, no problem, let's kill him. Chapter 5, Live Broadcasting Divorce at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance. A fiery red Porsche 718 pulled into the parking lot, instantly attracting the gaze of many onlookers. Especially Xiaoying, who was originally engrossed in her phone. Upon seeing the Porsche, her eyes widened. In her heart, she secretly fantasized about marrying such a wealthy second generation. But, in the next moment, Xiao Ying's fantasy shattered. Because the person stepping out of the Porsche 718 was Wu Feng. How can it be him? Xiaoying was completely astonished. Who's driving the sports car? Hu Yuping asked. Wu Feng? Xiaowen was utterly shocked. Get out! Hu Yuping, full of anger, roared. The five of them quickly got out of the car. The moment Xiaoying saw Wu Feng, she was stunned. In the past, Wu Feng was always in tatters, wearing a t-shirt for 3 years, and his hair unkempt. But just one day later, Wu Feng had become radiant. Not only did he change into a new suit, but he also styled his hair, looking as handsome as a male star. Of course, Wu Feng didn't particularly like this attire. It was arranged by Su Xianyan against his will. Her idea was, since they were divorcing, they should do it with style, without losing face. Wu Feng spoke, Xiaoying, have you brought the household register and marriage certificate? Before Xiaoying could speak, Hu Yuping opened her mouth to scold. Wu Feng, you wretched scoundrel, dressing up like a decent person, what nonsense are you up to? Xiaoying stared with widened eyes, angrily saying, it seems I've underestimated you, Wu Feng. You, a good-for-nothing parasite, have truly stooped to new lows. Bald Tiger was the first to speak up. It was Wu Feng who took that little mistress for barbecue yesterday. Not only did he hit me, but those two also went to a hotel and must have slept together. Shut up! Xiaoying slapped Bald Tiger across the face. Bald Tiger covered his mouth, shrinking back, realizing he might have hit a nerve with Xiaoying. Ma Yunlong stared at Xiaoying, Sising, should we divorce first or deal with him? Divorce? Xiaoying snorted, her gaze fixed on Wu Feng. Do you think if you want to divorce me, I'll just agree? Wu Feng was somewhat shocked. You don't want a divorce anymore? I remember you were the one who talked about divorce every day, Xiaoying. Hu Yuping shouted, if you want to marry, marry. If you want to divorce, divorce. Where do we, the Xiaos, put our face? Xiaowen said, we, the Xiaos, are not to be trifled with. Infidelity in marriage warrants divorce, but before divorce, some things must be clarified. Wu Feng interjected, I haven't cheated, that was my sister. Whatever you want to say, go ahead, Xiao family. Hu Yuping jumped and cursed, you animal, you dare say you haven't cheated? Who's that vixen in the car? She came to our door yesterday. At this moment, Su Xianyan, sitting in the sports car, was live streaming this drama with her phone. The number of online viewers exceeded 100,000, and the barrage couldn't be stopped. Oh my, the battle is heating up again. Such drama in the tale of the son-in-law visiting his in-laws. Too thrilling. Xianyan was ruthless yesterday, and today, the Xiao family really takes her as the third party. Xianyan, you must protect yourself. Judging by the situation, there might be a fight today. Su Xianyan ignored the rage of the Xiao family and smiled gently at the camera. Darlings, don't worry, I have my brother here to protect me. After speaking, Su Xianyan even blew a kiss to Wu Feng. You two despicable scoundrels infuriate me. Xiaoying erupted on the spot, ready to rush forward for a confrontation. Wu Feng directly reached out to stop her, dare to touch her. Don't blame me for being ruthless. Xiaoying roared, with things like this, you still call her your sister? Do you take me for a fool? Wu Feng couldn't be bothered to explain and simply said, think whatever you want. I'm here for a divorce, not to argue with you. Xiaoying jumped up in anger, pointing at Wu Feng and cursing loudly, divorce? Do you want me to accept you and this slut? You're dreaming. I'll never divorce you in my life. It's impossible forever. Not only will I not divorce you, I'll make you live in the cage the Xiao family has built for you for the rest of your life. Because you, Wu Feng, are only worthy of being a dog of the Xiao family, a despicable dog who can't even stand on his own. At this moment, Wu Feng was truly furious, unprecedentedly angry. He slapped Xiaoying with one hand, causing her to fall to the ground with a wolf-like howl. Wu Feng shook his head, looking at Xiaoying in disbelief. I knew you were controlling, but I never expected your inner self to be so twisted. Let me tell you, even if you never divorce me in your life, I'll never reconcile with you. You, Xiaoying, are not worthy to be called a human. From now on, don't even think about having any connection with me for the rest of your life. With that, Wu Feng turned and got into the car. Xiaoying burst into tears, grieving to the extreme. Hu Yuping roared, Ma Yunlong, what are you still waiting for? Act now. Yes. Ma Yunlong immediately picked up the walkie-talkie. Brothers, get out of the car and get to work. As his words fell, the private cars parked on the roadside all opened their doors. Dozens of tough-looking men with tattoos and fierce faces got out of the cars. They quickly surrounded the Porsche, forming layers of protection. Ma Yunlong turned and said, Second uncle, second aunt, little Ling, step back. Leave this to me. Get him. Xiaoying roared, then pulled Xiao Wen and Hu Yuping back to a safe distance. Wu Feng, sitting in the driver's seat of the sports car, remained calm, leisurely lighting a cigarette. To him, these riffraff were really not worth mentioning. But Su Xianyan was, after all, a girl. Being surrounded by so many thugs, she couldn't help but feel scared. The live stream on her phone had been turned off, showing Mu Judge's number, her finger hovering over the dialing interface. Wu Feng gently patted Su Xianyan's back of the hand, says 7, don't worry, everything will be fine. Su Xianyan nodded, then tightly held Wu Feng's hand. Ma Yunlong separated from the crowd and approached the car. Wu Feng, you're really something. After finishing the Xiao family's meal, you can still pursue a rich beauty. Bald Tiger said, Big brother, Wu Feng was so awesome yesterday. Ma Yunlong sneered, you insulted my brother, hit my brother, what do you take me, Ma Yunlong, for? Bald Tiger angrily said, Big brother, today we have to beat Wu Feng until he can't stand. Ma Yunlong nodded slightly, brothers, break 3 of his legs, and bring the girl in the car back to my place to play. Yes. The henchman shouted, getting ready to fight. Wu Feng immediately jumped out of the car, says 7, lock the car door properly, leave the rest to me. Be careful. Su Xianyan locked the car door first. At that moment, a nearly 200 kilograms fat man charged toward Wu Feng like a cannonball. Chapter 6, The Unimaginable Joy of Divorce. In the blink of an eye, Wu Feng swiftly launched a kick straight towards the fat man's chest. Thump! The fat man was instantly sent flying backward, knocking over several thugs before landing in a sorry heap on the ground. Wu Feng, trained in martial arts since childhood and enlisted in the overseas military at 16, eventually rose to become the lord of the underworld, a perennial kingpin. Even these street thugs were beneath him. Even the mercenaries who killed indiscriminately on the battlefield couldn't last 3 rounds against Wu Feng. In the next moment, Wu Feng surged into the crowd like a ferocious beast. His hands struck simultaneously, grabbing the arms of 2 men. Snap! The crisp sound of bones breaking filled the air as the 2 thugs' arms were twisted on the spot. Wu Feng continued his advance, heading straight for Bald Tiger. Perhaps due to his previous beating, Bald Tiger instinctively tried to evade Wu Feng. Wu Feng swiftly closed the distance, landing a powerful punch on Bald Tiger's face. Ah! Bald Tiger wailed in agony. Wu Feng followed up with 3 more punches. Thump, thump, thump. Murder! Bald Tiger wailed like a tortured soul, his entire nose caved in, his mouth full of broken teeth. Blood flowed profusely from his nose, a continuous stream akin to menstrual flow. Wu Feng had completely entered a state of slaughter. One move incapacitated one person, 1 step forward at a time. Ah! Help! The screams echoed throughout the parking lot. In the final moment, Wu Feng grabbed Ma Yunlong by the neck. Snap, snap. Several crisp sounds rang out as Ma Yunlong's arms were dislocated, and even his jaw was dislodged. Thud! Ma Yunlong collapsed to the ground. Have mercy, heroic sir. The ground was filled with wails of despair as Ma Yunlong and his 50-odd lackeys couldn't even last 3 minutes, all falling to the ground. Thump! Wu Feng kicked Ma Yunlong aside, striding directly towards Xiao Wen's car. At this point, Xiao Wen's family was completely dumbfounded. In the past, Wu Feng was gentle, never fighting back or uttering a word of insult. How could he suddenly become so powerful? Was he still human? Mother. Xiaoying trembled all over, clutching her mother's shoulder tightly. Xiaowen fumbled to retrieve the car keys, but despite several attempts, she couldn't insert them into the keyhole. Bang! Wu Feng punched through the driver's side window. Ah! Xiao Wen trembled with fear. Wu Feng leaned against the car window, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. Didn't expect your family to fear me like this? Hu Yuping stuttered, what are you trying to do? Xiaoying pleaded, don't do anything rash, let's discuss it calmly. Wu Feng said, quickly get the household register and marriage certificate. Trembling, Xiaowen retrieved the documents. Here, take them all. Wu Feng gave her a stern look. Get out of the car, let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Yes. Xiaowen nodded repeatedly, following Wu Feng out of the car. An hour later, the two of them successfully completed the divorce procedures at the Civil Affairs Bureau. As Wu Feng stepped out of the bureau's gates, he suddenly realized how vast the world outside was. He opened his arms and shouted to the sky, I'm finally free. Wu Feng got into the Porsche and swiftly drove away from the scene, never looking back. Where to? Wu Feng asked. Su Xianyan said, let's go to the mall, sister will buy you a watch. Wu Feng smiled. Really? After fourth sister gave you a sports car, can seventh sister treat you unfairly? Su Xianyan said. Wu Feng nodded. I just regret not divorcing sooner. Su Xianyan said, when sister live-streamed your divorce, she received quite a few gifts. Tisk. Wu Feng glanced at her, then parked in the city center. After getting out of the car, Su Xianyan linked her arm with Wu Feng's, and the two of them walked into the European-style mall like an affectionate couple. In the lobby on the ground floor were various imported luxury items such as jewelry and accessories. The two of them arrived at the watch counter. Su Xianyan spoke up, Miss, please help him choose a suitable watch. The female salesperson smiled faintly. Is the beautiful lady picking a watch for her boyfriend? Sort of. Su Xianyan nodded slightly, her pretty face blushing. Wu Feng tilted his head, giving Su Xianyan a sidelong glance. You're my sister. Su Xianyan immediately pinched Wu Feng's waist, shut up. The female salesperson carefully took out a watch from the counter. Would you two like to take a look at this Vacheron Constantine? It just arrived at our store today. Su Xianyan took the watch and directly put it on Wu Feng's wrist. Not bad, it suits your style. Su Xianyan said. Wu Feng turned his wrist, casually inspecting it. How much is it? The female salesperson said, this Vacheron Constantine retails for 230,000. So expensive? Wu Feng was somewhat surprised. You handsome and suave, wearing Vacheron Constantine accentuates your charm. The female salesperson's sweet voice was very enticing. Oh my, isn't this our famous live streamer, Su Xianyan? A woman dressed provocatively, clinging to an older man's arm, walked over slowly. The woman was dressed in revealing clothing, heavy makeup, exuding an aura of seduction from head to toe. Su Xianyan recognized her as another top live streamer on the same platform, Little Peach Blossom. Both of them were top female streamers in Fast Sound's local area, belonging to the same union. However, Su Xianyan's flow and fame surpassed Little Peach Blossom, as Su Xianyan's style was that of a sweet and innocent girl, beautiful and charming, exuding extreme cuteness. While Little Peach Blossom continuously engaged in spicy content, gaining popularity by pushing the boundaries. Little Peach Blossom envied Su Xianyan's talent, unwilling to compete directly, often resorting to underhanded tactics, showing herself to be shameless and vulgar. I heard that you, Su Xianyan, are robbing the cradle, dating a younger man? Su Xianyan frowned, where do I look like an old cow? Ha ha ha. Little Peach Blossom covered her mouth, laughing so hard she bent over. Su Xianyan, you have my youth, you have my beauty? You have my tenderness, you have my coquetry? Have you ever seen anyone as shameless as you? Su Xianyan was speechless. Wu Feng sneered, Little Peach Blossom, right? Do you think you're the tender grass? Isn't that obvious? Of course, I'm tender. Little Peach Blossom looked disdain. Wu Feng laughed, then the men around you are old cows. You're talking nonsense. This is my handsome uncle, and also my husband. Little Peach Blossom's face lengthened, and the old man's expression was not good either. Wu Feng said, your husband? I thought he was your dad. How come he looks older than your dad? Chapter 7, What's wrong with an old bull eating tender grass? Su Xianyan retorted, even if your husband is fine, what if he has a wife? In the end, you'll still be the mistress. You. Little Peach Blossom gritted her teeth and stomped in anger. Pointing angrily at the two of them, Little Peach Blossom exclaimed, "You two scoundrels, husband, help me quickly." Only then did the old man speak, disdainfully remarking, "What's there to discuss? Do you two paupers think you can afford a visit to Patek Philippe?" Su Shanyan promptly slapped her bank card onto the counter. "We want that watch, just swipe the card." Little Peach Blossom snatched Su Shanyan's bank card. "They can't afford it, please let my husband try on that watch." Su Shanyan reached out. "Quickly give me back the bank card." "I won't give it to you. We've already decided on this watch," Little Peach Blossom said, intentionally rubbing against the old man's arm. "Isn't that right, dear?" The old man nodded. "Young man, if you're broke, don't show off. Arguing won't help, it'll only make people laugh at you more." Wu Feng shook his head. "Sir, I advise you to go home and take your medication. Both of you seem to be ill." The old man's face changed. "What did you say?" "Say it again." "You're sick, and you have kidney deficiency. Your strong Viagra scent is suffocating," Wu Feng remarked. "You." The old man's face flushed with anger. "You're the sick one, your whole family is." Little Peach Blossom exploded, cursing vehemently. Wu Feng chuckled. "You're right about that, but it's not me, it's the two of you who are sick. Are you looking for trouble?" The old man erupted. Wu Feng said, "Sir, why don't you feel how vast your Mediterranean is? How many grasslands are there?" Little Peach Blossom shouted, "Stop talking nonsense. How could I possibly cuckold my husband?" Wu Feng replied, "Maybe you haven't given him the green hat, but are those red marks on your neck and thighs from being bitten by a dog? You smell like 18 different men. Do you even know what you've done? Your girlfriend said she's busy today, doesn't want to be intimate with you, right? It's not that she's busy, she's afraid of being caught by you while cheating." Little Peach Blossom stomped in anger. "Nonsense. Shut your stinking mouth." The old man tore off Little Peach Blossom's scarf, revealing red marks resembling strawberries on her neck. Smack! The old man exploded, slapping Little Peach Blossom across the face. Terrified, Little Peach Blossom covered her flushed face, pleading, "Honey." Enraged, the old man slapped her again. "I've provided for you, bought you a car, a house, and you dare mess around behind my back?" Little Peach Blossom cried, "It's because you can't satisfy me. Can't blame me, can you? Honey, I truly only love you in my heart. It's just playing around with them." Wu Feng chuckled, "That's minor. The main issue is that Little Peach Blossom has already contracted a disease. With red marks all over her arms, I'm serious when I say you two need to go home and take your medication." Hearing this, the old man's rage soared to the heavens. "I'll beat you to death, you wretch." Terrified, Little Peach Blossom turned and ran. "Honey, I was wrong, please spare me." He. Su Shanyan giggled, covering her mouth, leaning against Wu Feng's arm, feeling warm inside. Wu Feng asked, "Feeling better now? Letting off steam?" "Younger brother, you're amazing. Sister loves you to death," Su Shanyan said, then retrieved her bank card. The female sales clerk, who had witnessed everything, was dumbfounded. Su Shanyan smiled faintly. "Swipe the card, we'll take the watch." "All right, please wait." The sales clerk regained her smile and swiftly processed the payment. Later, the siblings continued upstairs. Su Shanyan embarked on a shopping spree, buying piles of items. Carrying bags of various sizes, Wu Feng and Su Shanyan linked arms, happily bouncing along as the sun set. The siblings drove back home. Dumping their bags in the living room, Wu Feng flopped onto the sofa. "I'm exhausted." Su Shanyan lay on the sofa, her slender legs draped over Wu Feng. "Massage my legs, please." "Sure." Wu Feng nodded, gently kneading her legs with his hands. Su Shanyan picked up her phone, opening fast sound to watch short videos. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The notification sound on her phone kept ringing. "Seventh sister, is your phone infected with a virus?" Wu Feng frowned. "No, it's just fans mentioning me." Su Shanyan's expression suddenly changed. Wu Feng asked, "What's wrong? Is this Little Peach Blossom crazy?" Su Shanyan said. "What happened?" Wu Feng inquired. Su Xianyan explained, she's challenging me to a PK livestream tonight, loser has to call the other dad. Isn't that shameless? Wu Feng scoffed. Su Xianyan pouted, I don't even bother with such incompetent people besides riding on my popularity, she has no real talent. Wu Feng suggested, then just ignore her. But this topic has made it to the front page of Fast Sound, and the official announcement has been made. My fans are already fighting with Little Peach Blossom's fans. My inbox is flooded with requests for the PK match. Wu Feng furrowed his brow. This Little Peach Blossom is really despicable. She's putting you on the spot. Pouting, Su Xianyan asked, little brother, what should I do? Wu Feng said, if she wants to embarrass herself, then let her. Just go along with it. Assertive, as expected of my little brother. Remember to support me when I go live later. Su Xianyan smiled, then turned and ran back to her room. Alright. Wu Feng took out his phone and opened Fast Sound. He was familiar with Fast Sound live streaming. The so-called PK was a competition between the fans of two streamers, based on who could donate more. The losing streamer had to accept the punishment proposed by the other. Little Peach Blossom's proposed punishment was to call the other dad. This punishment was extremely humiliating. Su Xianyan must not lose to Little Peach Blossom. Wu Feng immediately sent a WeChat message to Black Battle, transfer some money to me. The phone immediately sounded a notification, ding dong, payment has been received, 30 million. Black Battle, this guy is quite wealthy. Chapter 8, The Live Broadcast Duel of Su Xianyan. Indeed, Wu Feng is not without wealth. After years of overseas battles, he earned several billion yuan. However, this money is all held by the old man. The old man said, I won't touch a penny of this money, I'll save it for you to marry a wife in the future. Later, he married into the Shao family. The old man said again, this money is for you, it's our joint marital property. If you divorce, half of this money will go to the woman, so I can't give it to you. The old man's attitude is that you, Wu Feng, have money, but you can't use it. I have to go to the old man to get this money back. Wu Feng immediately entered Su Xianyan's live broadcast room. Inside the live broadcast room, Su Xianyan's fans were very active, and the barrage was continuous. At Su Xianyan's old husband, Xianyan is finally online, I'm getting tissues ready. At top big brother, Xianyan, you look so beautiful today, here's a glow stick for you. At Gingang Mutual Jerk, that Little Peach Blossom is shameless, Xianyan, show no mercy tonight. At Little Peach Blossom's mom's mistress, we're waiting for Little Peach Blossom to call you daddy. On the screen of the mobile phone, Su Xianyan, wearing a black suspender dress, had a white chiffon short sleeve draped over her shoulders. Originally sweet-looking, she was comparable to a celestial being under the beauty filter. Su Xianyan said, thank you, everyone. I didn't want to compete, but she insisted. My brother is right, just do it. Soon, the screen split in two. On the left was Su Xianyan, and on the right was Little Peach Blossom. As usual, Little Peach Blossom was dressed very revealingly. It was more accurate to say she was wearing thin pieces of fabric than clothes. Under the beauty filter, all that could be seen was her fair skin, and no one noticed her swollen cheeks. Little Peach Blossom smirked, Su Xianyan, we meet again. You made me lose face at the mall at noon. Tonight, I'll make you famous all over the internet. Su Xianyan replied, Little Peach Blossom, aren't you afraid of reaping what you sow? If you're afraid, you can surrender. Just call me daddy, and I'll spare you. Little Peach Blossom displayed a confident smile. She had broken off ties with that old man in the afternoon and had thrown herself into Huang Shao's arms. Huang Shao had a wide network, strong connections, and shared blessings and hardships with his brothers. That afternoon, Huang Shao and his brothers had engaged in a group activity with Little Peach Blossom. Huang Shao had promised her full support to defeat Su Xianyan. Not only did he want to overturn Su Xianyan's pure goddess image, but he also wanted to thoroughly disgrace her. Su Xianyan spoke up, I never fear my opponents. If you're willing to embarrass yourself, I'll graciously help you out. The button to start the duel was pressed. A 5-minute countdown appeared on the screen in the live broadcast room. The number of viewers in both rooms began to soar, and the gifts kept pouring in. User 2142 sent a rocket gift to host Su Xianyan, increasing the firepower by 5,000. User Old Dog sent an airplane gift to host Su Xianyan, increasing the firepower by 10,000. User Your Uncle Essence sent a tank gift to host Su Xianyan, increasing the firepower by 8,000. In just half a minute, Su Xianyan's firepower reached 100,000, equivalent to 10,000 yuan worth of gifts in the live broadcast room. Meanwhile, Little Peach Blossom's firepower was only 10,000, clearly at a disadvantage. Brothers, Little Peach Blossom really wants it, hurry up and give it to her. Little Peach Blossom cooed. The next moment, rewards came flying, quickly boosting her firepower to 1 million, instantly crushing Su Xianyan. Little Peach Blossom kissed the screen excitedly. Moi, brothers, you're so generous, so magnificent, so amazing. In Su Xianyan's live broadcast room, the netizens in the barrage were all cursing. Is Little Peach Blossom too shameless? So disgusting, is this begging for gifts? I almost thought I walked into a brothel. Su Xianyan's fans also began to shower gifts, instantly reaching a firepower of 1.5 million. However, Little Peach Blossom's firepower had grown to 3 million, twice that of Su Xianyan's. Su Xianyan was speechless. She knew Little Peach Blossom well. Her firepower in previous duels was usually around 300,000. Even at her best, Su Xianyan's firepower was only 2 million. Little Peach Blossom bloated. Su Xianyan, your fans aren't performing well today, huh? With only 1 minute left in the countdown, Little Peach Blossom still held the lead. Hey, hurry up and work harder. Will Su Xianyan call me daddy? Little Peach Blossom teased. Su Xianyan suddenly felt nervous, her heart racing. Gifts were pouring in, but her firepower couldn't catch up to Little Peach Blossom's. As the countdown began, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's over, I'm going to lose. Su Xianyan covered her face with both hands, unable to witness it. In the last 3 seconds, a battleship gift suddenly floated into the live broadcast room. The value of the battleship was 500,000, with a firepower of 5 million, instantly defeating Little Peach Blossom. The duel ended, and Su Xianyan emerged victorious. Yay! Thanks to my big brother, Cold Front. Su Xianyan jumped with excitement. There was a cheer in the live broadcast room. Wu Feng, sitting in the living room, breathed a sigh of relief. When he was recharging earlier, he had to deal with binding and facial recognition, wasting a lot of time, and his phone was slow to respond. By the time Wu Feng finished recharging, the duel was almost over, so he directly purchased the most expensive battleship. At this moment, Little Peach Blossom's face turned dark on the phone screen. Su Xianyan's fans rushed to send barrage messages. Xianyan's daddy fans are here to see their son. Hurry up and call daddy. Little girl, hurry up and call daddy. Little Peach Blossom grumbled, Cold Front ambushed me, despicable. Su Xianyan retorted, less nonsense, let's abide by the bet. Little Peach Blossom challenged, if you dare, let's play another round. The loser has to crawl on the ground 3 times and bark like a dog. Do you dare? Su Xianyan responded, why be unpleasant? Why do you have to be a dog? Little Peach Blossom coldly snorted, a gentleman avenges his grievances. If you're afraid, don't play. Su Xianyan hesitated. You. Little Peach Blossom taunted, are you scared? If not, call me daddy, and I'll spare you. In the live broadcast room, Big Brother Cold Front spoke up, Xianyan, play with her. I support you. Thank you, Big Brother Cold Front. Su Xianyan smiled, let's start the second round of the duel right away. Confidently, Little Peach Blossom said, this time, I won't be polite to you. Don't expect me to let you ambush me again. The duel began, and once again, Cold Front immediately sent another battleship. Su Xianyan's firepower instantly reached 5 million. Little Peach Blossom and her fans were stunned. Su Xianyan happily covered her small face, thank you, Cold Front, you're so handsome. Little Peach Blossom once again displayed her coquettishness. Husbands, do you really want to watch Little Peach Blossom crawl? If you like watching, I can show it to you individually. As long as I win today. Moi, generous brothers, let's go for the final sprint. The gifts quickly surged to 5 million, and Little Peach Blossom immediately surpassed Su Xianyan. Chapter 9, The Heartless Brother Cold Front. Seated casually in the living room, Wu Feng nonchalantly pressed the button to send the gift of an aircraft carrier. Swish! Immediately, an aircraft carrier floated onto the screen. Su Xianyan's firepower surged to 12 million. Oh, Brother Cold Front, I adore you. Su Xianyan excitedly blew a kiss to the screen. User Ironheaddog commented, my word, Brother Cold Front is utterly heartless. User my name is as long as my cock chimed in, just 2 rounds of PK and already 3 aircraft carriers, equivalent to 1.5 million RMB. User I'm a loyal bootlicker lamented, heavens, could it be that Su Xianyan has been taken under the wing of a mysterious tycoon? Viewers in the live broadcast room were continually shocked, speculating endlessly. Little Peach Blossom cried out to the screen, husbands, your little wife is about to lose. Can you bear to see me bullied? But the fans remained indifferent, mainly due to the vast difference in firepower. When the opponents sent out an aircraft carrier, ordinary people couldn't withstand such extravagant spending. Little Peach Blossom quietly picked up her phone and messaged Huang Xiao in a private chat. At Huang Xiao, you promised to help me. Huang Xiao replied tersely, admit defeat this time. I'll make sure you win the next round. Why should I admit defeat? You didn't say this when we were at the hotel this afternoon. Little Peach Blossom sent an unhappy emoji. Huang Xiao responded, don't you know your own position? Why would I support you? Don't you understand? Little Peach Blossom's expression changed. Huang Wen, what do you mean? Are you denying me now that you've zipped up? Huang Wen replied, don't you know your own status by now? What's my purpose? Don't you understand? Little Peach Blossom dared not provoke him further and quickly apologized. I'm sorry, Huang Xiao, I'll follow your arrangements. Huang Xiao, in the 3rd round, the loser dances a striptease. Little Peach Blossom, but what if I lose again? Huang Xiao, I'll have Cold Front's account banned, ensuring your victory. Thank you, Huang Xiao, I understand. Little Peach Blossom smiled, feeling elated. Huang Xiao, whose real name was Huang Wen, was a second-generation rich kid in Qin City. His father's company specialized in managing live broadcast unions, with a market value in the millions. Local renowned female anchors like Su Xianyan and Little Peach Blossom were all affiliated with this union. With this connection, Huang Wen had not hesitated to take advantage of female anchors within the union. However, he had never touched Su Xianyan, despite numerous invitations being declined. But the more she resisted, the more Huang Wen desired Su Xianyan. This led to today's PK, his goal being to tarnish Su Xianyan's goddess image. Once he had his way with Su Xianyan, his plan would be complete. Little Peach Blossom took the opportunity to vent her frustration, leading to their mutually agreed-upon arrangement. As the 5-minute countdown ended, Little Peach Blossom unsurprisingly lost. On the phone screen, Su Xianyan smiled, Little Peach Blossom, why go to such lengths? Let's abide by the bet, I'm a woman of my word. Little Peach Blossom immediately stood up and began crawling on the floor in her room, barking like a dog, woof woof woof. Su Xianyan couldn't help but laugh, covering her mouth. Returning to her live broadcast chair, Little Peach Blossom spoke up, Su Xianyan, dare you to face me in one final round? Su Xianyan was astonished, Little Peach Blossom, have you lost your mind? Little Peach Blossom replied, I've noted this down, Su Xianyan, we are sworn enemies. This is beyond words. Su Xianyan shook her head. Little Peach Blossom, with a cold expression, declared, in the final round, the loser strips. Will you accept the challenge? Su Xianyan said, are you out of your mind? Dancing like that risks getting banned at any moment. Little Peach Blossom nodded, of course, I know. Today, it's either your downfall or mine. I'm not playing. Su Xianyan refused outright. Little Peach Blossom became proud, scared? Lacking courage? Chickening out? Su Xianyan, you truly are trash. Just 2 wins, and you're already showing cowardice. If you're too scared to play, at least crawl like a dog and bark a couple of times. I promise to spare you. Otherwise, I'll challenge you to PK every day until you're fed up. Su Xianyan's face flushed with anger, you're shameless. Little Peach Blossom pressed on, in a word, dare you? Such a provocative challenge directly angered Su Xianyan's fans in the live broadcast room. User Barbara Bigwin exclaimed, Xianyan, let her have it. User Unfathomable Depths added, I've been waiting for her downfall. Let her die quickly. User Fish into the Cave chimed in, Xianyan, we've got your back, go for it. User Cold Front, Xianyan, just do it. Seeing Cold Front's message, Su Xianyan suddenly felt a sense of familiarity. Why did this sound so familiar? Could Cold Front be Wu Feng? Had her little brother been silently supporting her all along? Su Xianyan suddenly felt brave. Alright, one final round, a duel to the death. Little Peach Blossom smiled, let's begin. The audience watching the broadcast erupted in excitement. Damn, this is a rare spectacle. She's gone mad, Little Peach Blossom is truly insane, digging her own grave. Regardless of who loses, they'll be infamous. So thrilling, no matter who dances, it's a win for us. In the third round of the PK, Little Peach Blossom's firepower skyrocketed to 20 million. Little Peach Blossom was brimming with pride. Su Xianyan, you're guaranteed to lose this round. Su Xianyan's face turned slightly ugly, unprepared for the opponent's ferocity. Nevertheless, she believed that Cold Front would continue to support her. The barrage also kept mentioning at Cold Front, but Cold Front remained silent. Oh my god, has Cold Front abandoned ship? Can Cold Front handle it at this crucial moment? Is Cold Front actually working for Little Peach Blossom? Intentionally causing trouble for her? It's over, Su Xianyan is going to lose. Su Xianyan began to feel nervous, sweating in her palms in the living room. Wu Feng suddenly discovered that his QuickTune account had been banned. Banned for allegedly logging in from another location, the ban lasted 30 minutes. Damn it! Wu Feng cursed inwardly and hurried back to his room, turning on the computer. Being the underworld's Yama wasn't child's play for Wu Feng. From small arms handling to driving planes and tanks, he was proficient in various skills. From eavesdropping to counter-eavesdropping, and network hacking and defense, these were all basic skills for him. Effortlessly, Wu Feng accessed the backend of the QuickTune server and lifted the ban on himself. At this moment, there were only 30 seconds left in the PK in the live broadcast room. Little Peach Blossom's firepower had surged to 35 million. In contrast, Su Xianyan's fans were making continuous efforts, but only managed to reach a firepower of 25 million. Ha ha! Little Peach Blossom burst into laughter. Su Xianyan, your brother Cold Front must really want to see you dance naked. You've lost for sure. How could this be? Su Xianyan's face flushed red with embarrassment. With only 10 seconds left in the PK, Su Xianyan's heart was hanging by a thread. In the live broadcast room, Little Peach Blossom's laughter echoed without restraint. Chapter 10, The Fall of Little Peach Blossom. Swish, swish, swish. User Cold Front sent out 100 aircraft carriers as gifts, boosting firepower by 5 billion. With the PK concluded, Su Xianyan emerged victorious. In the live broadcast room, Su Xianyan's fans erupted into ecstatic cheers, showering the screen with barrage gifts. Wow, Cold Front is truly remarkable. He truly lives up to the title of the War Wolf, undefeated. Only Brother Feng is worthy of admiration, truly mighty. The barrage was filled with praises for Cold Front. Even Su Xianyan herself, at this moment, was still covering her mouth in disbelief. She couldn't believe it all. Just moments ago, she was on the verge of losing, but then came an unexpected turnaround. What's even more astonishing is that the opponents sent out 100 aircraft carriers. Each aircraft carrier costs 50,000, so 100 of them amounts to 5 million in cash. Su Xianyan was completely dumbfounded, never having received such a lavish reward before. Could this person truly be Wu Feng? Su Xianyan pondered this question deeply. Where there's joy, there's also sorrow. The proud Little Peach Blossom ended up becoming a frostbitten eggplant. Even though she was behind the beauty filter, her terrifying expression was still visible. Su Xianyan's fans once again started stirring up trouble, flooding into Little Peach Blossom's live broadcast room. Dance, dance, dance. The screen was filled with these two words. I actually lost? Little Peach Blossom couldn't believe it. Just moments ago, Huangwen had clearly instructed to ban Cold Front's account, so how did he manage to send gifts again? Su Xianyan spoke up, Little Peach Blossom, I'm not forcing you, but a person should keep their word. Dare to say, dare to do. Let me get ready, I'll dance immediately. Little Peach Blossom said, then got up and left the camera. She quickly messaged Huangwen in the group chat, at Huangwen, what's going on? Huangwen replied, I don't know either. I clearly ordered Cold Front's account to be banned, but who knew he would show up again to send gifts? What should I do now? Little Peach Blossom sent a pitiful emoji. Now she was caught in a difficult situation, either dance and risk ending her broadcasting career prematurely or face the wrath of the viewers. Huangwen said, just dance, the company won't ban you. If anything, you might even gain more popularity. Alright, I trust you. Little Peach Blossom put away her phone and immediately changed into some provocative lingerie. Turning off the overhead light, she switched on the room's laser lights and started the DJ music, filling the room with smoke. Twisting her waist and swaying her hips, Little Peach Blossom slowly approached the camera. The number of viewers in the live broadcast room skyrocketed to millions, breaking her all-time record for online viewership. Little Peach Blossom felt delighted, thinking that tonight might pave a new path for her future, perhaps stepping on Su Xianyan's head. She let go completely, and began to undress. Half a minute later, the screen went black and the broadcast was shut down. Little Peach Blossom was dumbfounded, quickly picking up her phone. Then she saw the notification: broadcaster Little Peach Blossom is suspected of engaging in explicit content broadcasting. Your account has been permanently banned. For any inquiries, please contact QuickTune customer service. Little Peach Blossom was utterly bewildered, quickly messaging Huangwen in the group chat. At Huangwen, are you playing me? Huangwen immediately sent a long voice message: am I playing your mom? I spent hundreds of thousands for you. Do you think I wanted to see you dance? I want to see Su Xianyan, go die. Huangwen, I. Little Peach Blossom was about to curse, but the next moment she was kicked out of the group. On the other end of the phone, Huangwen was also frustrated. He had spent a lot of money and hadn't gotten any action, feeling extremely annoyed. The union manager beside him hurriedly said, Huangwen, this despicable Little Peach Blossom has caused more harm than good. I've already reported her to the police for investigation. Let them go ahead. Huangwen still looked unhappy. The union manager said, tomorrow night, we can use this opportunity to arrange a celebration. As long as Su Xianyan dares to come, she will end up in your bed after getting drunk. Huangwen laughed heartily. Good, I leave this matter to you. Meanwhile, there was a knock on Little Peach Blossom's door at home. Who is it? Little Peach Blossom shouted. A voice came from outside the door: police station. You're suspected of engaging in explicit content broadcasting. Please come back with us to assist in the investigation. Woo woo. Little Peach Blossom cried, and half an hour later, she got into a police car headed for the police station. On the QuickTune platform, a mysterious tycoon rewarded 50 million QuickCoins overnight, and the female anchor Su Xianyan became rich overnight. Su Xianyan, who had finished broadcasting, was bombarded with notifications on her phone. Originally with just over 3 million fans, she suddenly had tens of millions, and her value skyrocketed several times over at the same time. In the internal chat group of the union, female anchors and company managers congratulated Su Xianyan one after another. Su Xianyan quickly replied, thank you, everyone. The union manager said, Xianyan has broken the local broadcasting record for rewards this time. The company has decided to hold a small celebration tomorrow night, and Xianyan, you must attend. Okay, I'll follow the company's arrangements. Su Xianyan, caught up in the excitement, didn't think too much about it. With her phone in hand, Su Xianyan happily bounced into Wu Feng's room. Stinky little brother, are you cold front? Su Xianyan asked. What cold front? Wu Feng pretended not to know. Su Xianyan frowned. Didn't you watch my broadcast? Wu Feng shook his head. I was playing a game just now. What happened? No way? Su Xianyan stepped forward and saw Wu Feng was indeed playing a game on his computer. Are you really not cold front? Su Xianyan was half doubtful. Is the PK over? Wu Feng asked. Su Xianyan said, I won, and that Little Peach Blossom got banned for stripping. It seems she also got arrested by the police. Wu Feng said, evil deeds will meet with evil consequences, it serves her right. Su Xianyan said, that cold front, sent over 1 million when I was broadcasting. Such extravagance, it must be one of your die-hard fans. Wu Feng remarked. Su Xianyan said, I thought it was you. Wu Feng chuckled, look at your little brother, does he look like a wealthy person? Alright. You unreliable little brother. Su Xianyan pouted, then said, there's a company party tomorrow night, will you accompany me? What company? Wu Feng asked. Su Xianyan said, it's the company I signed with, called Starfish Union, it's a gathering of some female anchors. That sounds good, I must go. Wu Feng smiled, stinky little brother. Su Xianyan grumbled, then turned to leave, suddenly doubling back to snatch Wu Feng's phone. She directly opened QuickTune's video app, checked his username, and found out that Wu Feng hadn't logged in at all. Jia, what are you doing? Wu Feng asked. It's nothing, go to bed early. Tomorrow, be ready to help me fend off alcohol, jerks, and scum. Su Xianyan placed the phone on the bed and quietly left. Ka-dunk. Wu Feng smiled as the door closed. Luckily, he cleverly logged out of his account, otherwise, Su Xianyan would have discovered his true identity. Wu Feng wasn't afraid of her knowing his real identity, after all, he had retired. If Su Xianyan knew the money came from her brother, she would definitely feel reluctant to spend it. She might even return it to Wu Feng. For Su Xianyan, this $1 million reward from her fans would boost her confidence and propel her further along her broadcasting journey. The next evening, Wu Feng drove Su Xianyan to the Qin City International Hotel in his sports car. In the VIP room on the top floor, it was filled with various flowers, and the female anchors sitting on the side couldn't help but envy. Huang Wen, dressed in a handsome suit, held 99 roses in his hand, waiting for Su Xianyan to come to him. This gathering seemed to be initiated by manager Wang on the surface. But behind the scenes, it was all planned by Huang Wen. As for the purpose, it goes without saying, Huang Wen wanted Su Xianyan. He wanted that pure goddess Su Xianyan to surrender beneath him. As the door to the VIP room opened, Su Xianyan walked in. She was wearing a pure white dress, with high-heeled sandals on her feet. Her long hair cascaded over her shoulders, and even with just light makeup, she looked pure and lovely. Huang Wen took a step forward, directly kneeling on one knee. Xianyan, ever since I met you, I've fallen for you. This might seem sudden, but I want to ask, will you be my girlfriend? Chapter 11, Broadcaster Gathering, a Grand Display. In an instant, Su Xianyan was stunned. What was supposed to be an offline gathering had suddenly turned into a scene of confession. Petals were falling in the room, and the bubble machine started blowing countless dreamy bubbles. Other broadcasters began to clamor, agree to him, agree to him, agree to him. Xianyan, I sincerely like you, will you be my girlfriend? Huang Wen spoke again, his emotions deeply sincere. Su Xianyan suddenly felt a shiver run down her spine. Huang Wen seemed romantic on the surface, but in reality, he was quite libertine. His nickname was Huang Qianzhan, and there were countless girls he had left heartbroken. As Su Xianyan hesitated on how to politely decline, Wu Feng walked into the room. He took the flowers from Huang Wen's hand with a smile. Sorry for being late. Who are you? Huang Wen's face changed. Wu Feng smiled and reached out to embrace Su Xianyan's slender waist. Your confession is a bit late. Su Xianyan belongs to me now. In an instant, the cheering ceased, and Huang Wen's face turned as ugly as an eggplant. Wu Feng smiled. Hello, everyone, I'm Wu Feng, Su Xianyan's boyfriend. Su Xianyan lightly nibbled her red lips, deliberately leaning towards Wu Feng. She pinched his thigh with a mosquito-like voice, saying, naughty little brother, well done. Boyfriend? Huang Wen stared at the two of them closely, his mentality collapsing. A well-planned confession gathering, and suddenly a boyfriend appeared out of nowhere? Su Xianyan smiled faintly. Sorry, everyone. I actually wanted to announce this news tonight, but I didn't expect. Manager Wang hurriedly stepped forward to mediate. Congratulations, Xianyan, on finding your true love. Others finally snapped out of their daze and congratulated Su Xianyan one after another, gradually easing the awkward atmosphere in the room. The extremely embarrassed Huang Wen walked into the restroom, gritting his teeth in anger. Manager Wang quietly followed him in. Mr. Huang, what should we do next? The original plan for today was a public confession, followed by forcibly kissing Su Xianyan. At night, there would be coercion, and the next day, a hasty retreat. Unexpectedly, a guy named Wu Feng intercepted him out of nowhere, disrupting all his arrangements. Huang Wen gritted his teeth and said, if being literary doesn't work, then let's resort to force. Manager Wang asked, what do you mean by force? Huang Wen said, get that Wu Feng drunk first, then find a female broadcaster to spend the night with him. Tomorrow, accuse him of rape and kill him. Manager Wang raised his thumb. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Dare to ruin my good fortune, you're asking for death. Huang Wen's eyes glared with murderous intent. Manager Wang asked again, what about Su Xianyan? Huang Wen turned around, glaring at him. Manager Wang hastily nodded, understood, get her drunk and send her to your room. Huang Wen nodded in satisfaction, lit a cigarette, and walked out of the restroom. Everyone took their seats, the alcohol and dishes were prepared, and the party officially began. After 3 rounds of drinks and 5 courses of dishes, the assault on Wu Feng and Su Xianyan began in earnest. 7 or 8 men surrounded Wu Feng. Brother, being able to pursue Xianyan from so many people, I toast you. To be honest, I envy you. You must drink this. Brother Feng, you are the senior, I admire you, this drink is for you. Su Xianyan waved her hand. Wu Feng isn't suitable for drinking. Let's spare him, okay? Manager Wang immediately spoke up. Men should drink, and they should drink strong liquor. Am I right? Manager Wang is absolutely right. A man cannot be cowardly. Whoever doesn't drink is a coward. Alcohol is the essence of food, the more you drink, the younger you become. While speaking, Manager Wang took out a case of 72-degree original grain Wulianye white liquor. 72-degree original grain Wulianye, who wants to drink? Xianyan's boyfriend, you must have a drink first. After Manager Wang finished speaking, he opened a bottle and filled a large glass for Wu Feng. Wu Feng nodded. I can handle only 3 cups. Please excuse me, I'll drink 3 cups first in respect. After saying that, Wu Feng downed 3 cups in a row, then picked up the bottle and poured drinks for the others. Everyone, I've filled your glasses. 3 cups for each person. Just now, that guy said it right, a man cannot be cowardly. Whoever doesn't drink is a grandson. This time, the young men present were all dumbfounded. This was 72-degree original grain Wulianye, 1 cup was nearly 2 ounces. Even an elephant would be knocked out for days after 3 cups. Those with weak alcohol tolerance would vomit after half a cup. Who would have thought that Wu Feng, instead of getting drunk, would put them in a difficult position by drinking 3 cups? Not drinking meant being a grandson, but drinking meant getting finished. Wu Feng raised his glass. Manager Wang, you should have a drink first. Manager Wang immediately showed a wry smile. This liquor can't be rushed. Wu Feng said, are you even a man? Why so hesitant? Do you want to be a grandson? I'm a real man, not drinking is being a grandson. Manager Wang's temper flared up, and he downed 3 cups in a row. Wu Feng said, Manager Wang is setting an example. Brothers, let's not be cowardly, shall we? Drink, sacrifice for the gentleman. Drink if you must, who's afraid of whom? Not drinking means being a grandson, there's nothing wrong with that. 7 or 8 old and young men each downed 3 cups. Not even 5 minutes had passed, and several people had already crawled under the table. Others queued up for the restroom, one by one, turning pale and vomiting. When they returned to the private room, Wu Feng and Su Xianyan were nowhere to be found. Looking across, Huang Wen was also missing. A foreboding feeling arose in everyone's hearts. Chapter 12, Perilous Encounter for Xiaonan, Wu Feng Goes Mad. Xiaonan indeed left the private room, but she headed to the restroom in the lobby of the hotel. Just as she exited the restroom, she encountered Manager Wang by the wash basin. Xiaonan, I have some good news to share with you. Manager Wang's countenance remained composed. He had just downed 3 glasses of Wulianye liquor, but soon after, he rushed to the restroom, emptying his stomach. What good news? Xiaonan's face brightened. Manager Wang said, the top anchor of your live stream is in this hotel. Ah? You mean Lung Feng? Xiaonan's curiosity was piqued. Manager Wang chuckled, yes, that's the one staying in the hotel upstairs and just contacted the platform to arrange a meeting with you. Upon hearing the word hotel, Xiaonan's expression changed, subconsciously associating it with the unwritten rules. Manager Wang reassured her, don't worry, there's nothing to fear. It's just a simple meeting. I'll be with you the whole time. Hearing this, Xiaonan felt somewhat relieved. Manager Wang had always taken good care of the company's anchors, he wouldn't harm her. Alright, let's go meet him then. Xiaonan nodded slightly and followed Manager Wang into the elevator. Considering Lang Feng's lavish spending that night, it was only courteous, if nothing else, to greet him. Upon reaching the floor, they arrived at room 888. Manager Wang knocked on the door. The door's not locked, come in. A male voice came from inside the room. Xiaonan hesitated for a moment, the voice sounded somewhat familiar. Let's go in. Manager Wang pushed the door open. Okay. Xiaonan nodded and slowly entered the room with a loud bang. The door suddenly closed, but Manager Wang didn't enter. Feeling a chill down her spine, Xiaonan turned around, only to see a man walking out of the room. It was Huang Wen. Mr. Huang, why are you here? Xiaonan was taken aback. Ha ha. Huang Wen laughed. You are Long Feng? Xiaonan suddenly had a foreboding feeling. Yes. Huang Wen nodded with a smile. Am I not allowed to be Ling Feng when I'm this handsome? Xiaonan instinctively backed away, quietly reaching for the doorknob. Mr. Huang, may I see your account? Sure. Huang Wen took out his phone and slowly approached Xiaonan. Lowering her head, Xiaonan suddenly felt Huang Wen embrace her, throwing her onto the bed. Suxianan, do you understand what I want to do now? Huang Wen smirked, immediately undoing his trousers. Mr. Huang, please don't act impulsively. There are things that cannot be done recklessly. You must not cross the line of the law. Xiaonan tried to remain as calm as possible, but she was extremely anxious. Huang Wen laughed loudly. I like your innocence. Tonight, I'm going to have you, whether you agree or not. Trembling, Xiaonan took out her phone and dialed Wu Feng's number directly. Huang Wen hurriedly ran to the window and hung up the call, tossing the phone into the trash can. You. Xiaonan got off the bed and tried to run out of the room. But she was just a girl. Before reaching the door, she was blocked by Huang Wen in the corner. Trembling, Xiaonan spoke, Mr. Huang, please don't do this. You're committing a crime. I'm going to do as I please. Ha ha. Huang Wen laughed maniacally, resembling a demon. Help, help. Xiaonan screamed, while at the same time, the phone in the trash can kept vibrating. This call was from Wu Feng, calling back. At this moment, Wu Feng had already left the private room and arrived outside the restroom in the lobby. Have you seen Xiaonan? Wu Feng grabbed a female anchor and asked. No, there's no one in the ladies' room. The female anchor shook her head. Wu Feng instantly erupted in anger. Xiaonan wasn't in the restroom, yet she didn't pick up the phone. Years of experience told him that Xiaonan was in danger, most likely related to Huang Wen. Before coming, Xiaonan had warned him about Huang Wen, telling Wu Feng to be cautious. Just then, Wu Feng suddenly saw Manager Wang, who had a sinister smile, emerging from the elevator. Where's Xiaonan? Wu Feng rushed up to him and asked. Manager Wang's smile disappeared instantly, and his eyes darted around before saying, It seems she went downstairs to buy something with a girl. Is there something wrong? Wu Feng was instantly furious, grabbing Manager Wang's neck and pressing him against the elevator door. Lies, he was lying. Based on Wu Feng's years of understanding of Xiaonan, she wouldn't leave without saying a word, let alone suddenly ignore his call. Ah. Manager Wang was suspended in the air, finding it difficult to breathe. Bang bang bang. Wu Feng landed 3 punches in succession. Crack crack crack. The sound of bones breaking, who knew how many ribs were broken? Ah. The intense pain made Manager Wang vomit bile directly. Wu Feng's eyes were ablaze. I'll ask again, where is Xiaonan? Manager Wang's eyes rolled back as if he saw hell, hastily pointing upstairs, room 888 in the hotel. Wu Feng pushed Manager Wang aside and rushed upstairs through the emergency exit. Bang! With a loud noise, Wu Feng kicked open room 888. Inside the room, Huang Wen was shirtless, and Xiaonan's long skirt had been torn into a short one, tears streaming down her face. I'll kill you! Wu Feng roared angrily, charging like a wild beast, kicking Huang Wen straight into the bathroom. Bang! Chapter 13, Yan Luo in Peril, Citywide Alert. In the late hours, within the Qin City Hospital. The emergency room was illuminated by crimson lights. Huang Haixing sat on a bench in the corridor, puffing on a cigarette, while Manager Wang knelt before him. A burly figure stood silently beside, exuding a formidable aura without uttering a word. Manager Wang spoke, Mr. Huang, it's about this matter. Suxianayan, Wu Feng. Huang Haixing muttered these 2 names. Manager Wang inquired, Mr. Huang, what do you think about this matter? Huang Haixing spoke, regardless of whether my son lives or dies, you cannot escape responsibility in this matter. Yes. Manager Wang nodded repeatedly, it's all my fault, all my fault. Huang Haixing glanced, then turned to the burly figure, saying, Xiangzi, take him out and break both his legs. Understood. Xiangzi lifted Manager Wang from the ground. Have mercy, spare me, Mr. Huang, spare me. Moments later, the agonizing cries of Manager Wang echoed outside the emergency room. Xiangzi, covered in blood, stood once again before Huang Haixing. Xiangzi spoke, both legs have been broken. Huang Haixing nodded, take care of Wu Feng handled the matter discreetly, leaving no trace behind. Rest assured, leave it to me. This matter will not implicate you in any way. After saying so, Xiangzi swiftly left the emergency room. Wu Feng escorted Suxianayan back home. As she lay in bed, Suxianayan tightly grasped Wu Feng's hand. Sister Nian, everything is fine now, Wu Feng gently patted her back. I'm fine, I'm strong, you don't need to worry about me. Suxianayan revealed a bitter smile. Wu Feng nodded, that's good, you should rest now. Suxianayan nodded, yet refused to release Wu Feng's hand. Wu Feng said, rest assured and sleep, I'll stay by your side tonight. Suxianayan said, then, would you climb onto the bed and sleep with me tonight? I. Before Wu Feng could finish his sentence, urgent knocks sounded at the door. I'll check it. Wu Feng got up, gently patting her hand. Please be careful, Suxianayan said, biting her lip. Wu Feng left the room and approached the door. Peering through the peephole outside stood 4 men dressed in police uniforms, with the burly one at the forefront. Hello, we are officers from the local police station. Please open the door and assist us with our investigation. Who is it? Suxianayan stood at the door, her head tucked low. Police, Wu Feng replied. Police? Suxianayan's expression changed. Bang, bang, bang. The knocking resumed. You go into the room first. I might have to go to the police station. Don't worry about me, Wu Feng said. But. Suxianayan hesitated, her worries persisting. Wu Feng opened the door, and without a word, the officers handcuffed him. Come with us. The 4 officers immediately took Wu Feng away. You. Suxianayan rushed out of the room. Bang. The door closed, and the 4 police officers had already taken Wu Feng downstairs. Suxianayan's heart raced. She hurried back to the room, dialing her sister Mu Jiejia's number. Mu Jiejia's call didn't go through, but Wu Feng's phone on the bedside table vibrated first. The caller ID displayed Er Heizi. Hello, are you Wu Feng's friend? I'm his sister. He's in trouble and can't answer your call right now. We'll talk later. Suxianayan hung up Wu Feng's call and dialed Mu Jiejia again. Hello, Sister 4, something's happened. On the other end of the call, upon learning of the situation, Mu Jiejia didn't react impulsively but instead comforted Suxianayan, don't panic. We are the victims in this matter. Wu Feng's actions were to prevent crime. Suxianayan asked, but what do the police want with him? Mu Jiejia said, which police station were they from? Did you note down their badge numbers? Suxianayan hastily shook her head, they didn't mention the station, and it seems they weren't wearing badges. Impossible, police officers must wear badges when on duty. Mu Jiejia shook her head. Just wait, I'll send you the footage from the entrance. Suxianayan quickly turned on her computer, downloaded the recent surveillance footage, and sent it to Mu Jiejia at the police station courtyard. Mu Jiejia repeatedly reviewed the footage, feeling increasingly suspicious. None of the 4 officers wore badges, and from their demeanor and speech, they didn't seem like real police officers. Let's hang up for now. Take care of yourself. I'll handle this matter. Mu Jiejia hung up and swiftly left her office. She directly called Chief Zhang Yan, reporting the incident. Chief, I have important information to report to you. At the Jizhou Central Command, General Wan Chenhe, just retired to rest, put down the secure line phone, his face as solemn as autumn water. He received earth-shattering news. The once-vanished underworld king, Yan Luo, had suddenly appeared in Qin City. Just moments ago, a group of unidentified individuals had captured Yan Luo. Yan Luo, who had led the 3,000 divine warriors to repeatedly defeat foreign dark forces silently guarding the citizens of the Heavenly Dragon Kingdom overseas. More importantly, Yan Luo had saved General Wan Chenhe's life years ago. He, Wan Chenhe, would not allow Yan Luo to suffer any harm on his territory. Dispatch orders to all units, enter combat readiness. Yes. The messenger roared loudly. 10 minutes later, soldiers who had just retired to rest hurriedly assembled in the command base. 15 minutes later, 3,000 soldiers drove out of the command base in combat vehicles. On the other end, Wu Feng was captured by several so-called police officers and brought to a backyard in a village in the city center. After parking, nearly 100 tattooed men surged out into the yard. They surrounded the car, pointing and gesturing at Wu Feng. The burly police officer removed his hat, spat heavily on the ground, revealing his true thug nature. This person was not a police officer but rather Huang Haixing's henchman. Xiangzi approaching, Xiangzi yanked open the van door. Sitting inside, Wu Feng displayed an innocuous smile. Do you know the crime of impersonating a police officer? You realized I'm not a cop? Xiangzi was taken aback. Wu Feng said, From the moment you handcuffed me, I knew you weren't a real cop. At the very least, real police wear uniforms neatly, display their badge, and their conduct never exudes thuggishness. You figured it out, but it doesn't matter. Tonight, you're finished. Xiangzi threatened, his facial muscles twitching. Wu Feng asked, Aren't you curious why I knew you were fake cops and still followed you here? Why? Xiangzi countered. Wu Feng coldly snorted, Because I don't want bloodshed at my doorstep, and frankly, I don't take you bunch of riffraff seriously. Screw you, you're dead meat now. Xiangzi enraged, reaching out to pull Wu Feng out of the car. Thump! Wu Feng kicked out. Ah! Xiangzi screamed, flying backward, crashing into the courtyard wall. Boss, are you alright? His underlings rushed to him, helping him up. Xiangzi grimaced, his entire waist broken. Get him, kill him. Instantly, the gangsters moved, picking up various weapons and closing in on the van. Wu Feng jumped out of the car, one kick toppling the burly man before him. Crack! A crisp sound rang out as Wu Feng tore off the handcuffs, entering combat mode. Chapter 14: The Collapse of the Huang Family Overnight. Wu Feng swiftly advanced, his fist shattering the facial bones of the thug before him. With another kick, he sent the man soaring into the sky. As his opponent swung a knife, Wu Feng severed his arm. Then, as the assailant wielded an iron rod, Wu Feng shattered his leg with a single kick. In the face of adversity, Wu Feng emerged victorious, demonstrating his martial prowess. When he seized a long knife from the enemy, he unleashed a torrent of lethal strikes. Swish, swish, swish. Within the courtyard, blades clashed, blood flowed freely, and countless screams reverberated throughout the bustling village. 15 minutes later, the campus was strewn with chaos, yet only Wu Feng remained standing. Xiangzi knelt before him, begging for mercy. Spare me, heroic one. It was all Huang Haixing's orders, please spare my life. Without hesitation, Wu Feng delivered a decisive blow, silencing Xiangzi forever. Xiangzi, known throughout Qin City as a ruthless enforcer for the Huang family, had met his end this night. His crude and violent methods had long served the interests of the Huangs, covering their tracks with brutality. Even in the event of a mishap, they could evade accountability, with their henchmen facing minimal consequences. Yet tonight, Xiangzi's life came to an abrupt end, for he had crossed paths with Wu Feng. Once a kingpin of the underworld, the dreaded Yan Luo himself. When General Wan Chenhu's forces arrived at the village, 30 minutes had passed. 3,000 fully armed soldiers encircled the entire area, causing a commotion in every street and alley. As General Wan Chenhu pushed open the courtyard gate, he was greeted by the sight of Wu Feng, sitting alone amidst the blood-stained ground, smoking a cigarette. You all, leave and close the gate. General Wan Chenhu commanded without delay. Yes. His subordinates quickly withdrew from the courtyard. Approaching, General Wan Chenhu knelt before Wu Feng, catching him off guard. Lord Yan Luo, forgive my tardiness. Wu Feng smiled. General Wan Chenhu. It is I. General Wan Chenhu nodded, his eyes brimming with emotion. Without you in the past, I, Wan Chenhu, would have perished. Upon learning of your presence in Qin City, I immediately led my men here. Wu Feng extinguished his cigarette, chuckling. Rise, General. I am now Wu Feng, not the Lord Yan Luo you once knew. General Wan Chenhu rose slowly, inquiring, You are not injured, I hope? He noticed Wu Feng's bloodied appearance. Wu Feng shook his head. This blood is not mine. Upon hearing this, General Wan Chenhu breathed a sigh of relief. Since you're here, help me clean up the scene. Wu Feng crushed his cigarette. Yes. General Wan Chenhu nodded, swiftly making his way to the backyard. There, he was greeted by a gruesome sight of thugs lying scattered on the ground, some barely clinging to life. Exiting the backyard, General Wan Chenhu queried Wu Feng, Who is targeting you? Huang Haixing, father of Huang Wan. Wu Feng stepped out of the courtyard, with General Wan Chenhu following closely behind. The two men boarded the vehicle, where General Wan Chenhu personally lit a cigarette for Wu Feng. As they smoked, Wu Feng recounted the events of the night. After listening attentively, General Wan Chenhu nodded solemnly. I will escort you home first. The subsequent matters shall be left to me to handle. Very well. Wu Feng nodded. General Wan Chenhu instructed his men to guard the courtyard diligently before driving away. The sight of General Wan Chenhu personally driving shocked the soldiers stationed at various checkpoints. It had been many years since anyone had seen General Wan Chenhu behind the wheel. There were likely no more than 3 individuals in all of Jizhou who could compel him to do so. Who, then, was the man in the car? The soldiers pondered this question deeply. At 1 in the morning, Wu Feng returned home. At 1:30, 3,000 soldiers surrounded the Qin City Hospital. Huang Haixing, along with Huang Wen, who had just been wheeled out of the operating room, were apprehended by General Wan Chenhu's men on the spot. At 2 in the morning, the Huang family villa saw the arrest of Huang Haixing's wife, caught in bed with her lover. By 3 in the morning, the once noisy Qin City had returned to tranquility. The following morning, Mu Jiejia escorted Wu Feng and Suxianayan to the police station. To prevent any unforeseen incidents, she ensured that their case was documented, preempting any potential repercussions. Of course, Wu Feng refrained from disclosing his relationship with General Wan Chenhu, skillfully weaving a web of lies. As he left the police station, it was already noon. His Porsche was blocked by a large Land Rover and unable to move. Bang, bang, bang. Wu Feng knocked on the car window. Excuse me, could you move your vehicle? The door swung open, revealing an elegant woman in a red dress and high heels. Wu Feng was momentarily stunned by her beauty and grace. If one were to describe another woman's figure as an hourglass, then this woman before him embodied the epitome of elegance. What are you looking at, brat? The woman approached, pulling Wu Feng into her embrace. Wu Feng felt a wave of suffocation and quickly pushed her away. Xingjie, it's you. Indeed, it was none other than Xingjie, Wu Feng's wealthy and powerful elder sister, Gu Xianxing, worth billions. Ha, didn't recognize your Xingjie? Gu Xianxing laughed heartily, her cheeks flushed. Wu Feng grinned. It's been a few years, and you've grown even more beautiful. I almost didn't recognize you. Gu Xianxing replied, what do you mean grown? Your sister has always been this tall. Wu Feng chuckled, I didn't say anything about your height. Gu Xianxing glanced down, her face reddening. Wu Feng inquired, 7 said you've been busy with work these days. How come you found time to come see me? When I heard you and Xianyan got into trouble, how could I focus on work? Gu Xianxing pouted, a hint of displeasure in her tone. We're both fine, Xingjie, you don't need to worry. Wu Feng flashed a brilliant smile. Gu Xianxing said, Big sister will treat you 3 to lunch. I have something important to discuss with you. Wu Feng asked, what important matter, Xingjie? Gu Xianxing smiled, of course, it's about making you a shareholder in the company, as promised, a divorce gift. No, no. Wu Feng quickly waved his hand, I can't handle this. I appreciate your kindness. Gu Xianxing laughed, men shouldn't say they can't. The Land Rover pulled up in front of a barbecue restaurant, followed by Suxianayan and Mu Jiejia in the Porsche. 2 luxury cars, 3 beautiful women, all revolving around Wu Feng. The men in the entire hall cast envious glances at him. Chapter 15, The Poison Gas Attack in the Cafe. At the dining table, the 3 recounted the events of the previous night to their elder sister, Gu Xianxing. Mu Jiejia remarked, even if the members of the Huang family survive, they'll likely spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Gu Xianxing raised her glass, as long as Xianyan and Wu Feng are unharmed, Jiejia, you should focus more on Xianyan's well-being. Mu Jiejia smiled, don't worry, elder sister. Tonight, I'll move back to accompany Xianyan. Gu Xianxing took out her phone, there's no need for elder sister to make a big deal. Let me send a big red envelope to you 2 sisters. After speaking, Mu Jiejia and Suxianayan's phones began vibrating. Suxianayan was astonished, oh my? 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Such a large red envelope? Mu Jiejia was also stunned. Gu Xianxing smiled, it's just a little token of my affection. Use it to buy handbags and new clothes. Thank you, elder sister. You're so kind. Suxianayan turned to embrace Gu Xianxing. Gu Xianxing added, all right. As long as you 2 are safe, elder sister can rest assured. If you need anything in the future, just tell elder sister. Let's eat. The 3 sisters began to eat, while Wu Feng looked embarrassed and said, elder sister, aren't you going to give me a red envelope or something? Mu Jiajia and Suxianayan laughed. Eat first, we can talk about your matters later. Gu Xianqing chuckled as well. After lunch, Suxianayan took Mu Jiajia to go shopping. Gu Xianqing took Wufeng to a secluded cafe. Sitting face to face, Gu Xianqing picked up her coffee cup and saw the company's vice president, Zhao Ping, staggering in. Well, if it isn't President Gu. Zhao Ping, with his slicked back hair and powdered face, walked over with a smirk, not bothering with formalities, and sat directly beside Wufeng. What are you doing here? Gu Xianqing turned her head, feeling quite repulsed by Zhao Ping. Although they were colleagues, they were like fire and water in the company. Zhao Ping didn't care about Gu Xianqing's attitude and joked, Aunt Gu, failure in the workplace, success in love, right? Gu Xianqing glared at Zhao Ping fiercely, get this straight, in terms of age, I'm only 3 years older than you. Don't keep calling me aunt, otherwise, people might think you're an oversized baby. Zhao Ping's face changed instantly, and he snorted, President Gu, sharp-tongued as always, I can't argue with you. But don't blame me for not warning you. Your new product, the flower bud, has had no progress in development for over 3 years. At tomorrow's group board meeting, you better explain it clearly, or be prepared to hand over the CEO position. Gu Xianqing said coldly, that's my own business. You don't need to worry about it. Stubborn as ever. Zhao Ping rolled his eyes and then patted Wufeng's shoulder. Bro, even though you're quite ugly, you should still be choosy about who you leech off. Gu Xianqing might be stepping down tomorrow, what use are you to her? Eating, I'll eat your mom's leech off. Wufeng hadn't spoken until now, but it didn't mean he didn't have a temper. What did you say? Say it again if you dare. Zhao Ping got angry and stood up to confront Wufeng. Wufeng sneered, can't understand? If I'm leeching off someone, it'll be your mom's leeching first. Then I'd be your non-blood related dad. Are you playing tongue twisters with me? Zhao Ping's head buzzed, and it took him a while to understand, are you cursing me? Wufeng laughed, cursing you? You're overthinking it. Don't be so conceited. I'm not your stupid son. You lunatic, I'll slap you today and teach you a lesson. After saying that, Zhao Ping reached out to slap Wufeng. But would Wufeng let him? He immediately used a counter-grappling move, locking Zhao Ping's wrist. Ah! Zhao Ping winced in pain from his wrist and gritted his teeth, let go of me. If you can't speak properly, then shut your stinking mouth. Gu Xianqing intervened, brother, there's no need to stoop to his level, let him go. Humph. Wufeng snorted and then released Zhao Ping. But Zhao Ping was still unwilling, pointing at Wufeng, you. Let's go. Gu Xianqing didn't want to say another word. She directly pulled Wufeng out of the cafe, and the other customers followed suit. Don't leave. Zhao Ping spoke, but before he could leave, another poison gas bomb was thrown. The servers behind the counter couldn't bear it and ran outside to hide. Even passers-by who happened to be near the cafe hurriedly pinched their noses and fled. This time, Zhao Ping was truly embarrassed. The Land Rover then headed towards the commercial street. Curiously, Gu Xianqing asked Wufeng, brother, it wasn't you causing trouble just now, was it? Wufeng smiled, I just gave him a needle in his heavenly pit and helped him with his constipation. During their confrontation, Wufeng knew Zhao Ping wouldn't back down, so he taught him a lesson, huh? Gu Xianqing burst into laughter, your medical skills truly inherited our father's legacy. A mere parlor trick, hardly worth mentioning. Wufeng modestly smiled and said, let's go to your company now. Chapter 16, The Divorce Gift from Sister. Oh? Gu Xinqing was taken aback. Go to my company? What for? Wufeng chuckled. Of course, to sign the contract. I'm going to be a major shareholder, I'm going to be the boss, and I'm going to engage in some office romance. Gu Xinqing laughed too. You rascal, weren't you adamantly against it just now? Wufeng leaned back in his seat, holding his head. To battle with the heavens brings endless joy. To battle with the earth brings endless joy. To battle with man brings endless joy. If I had known your company harbored such scum, I would have gone over long ago. Alright, then let's go to the company. Gu Xinqing revealed a happy smile. The Land Rover stopped outside the company building, and Gu Xinqing took Wufeng directly to her office. Gu Xinqing said, little brother, once you sign this contract, you'll be mine. Have you thought it through? Of course. Wu Feng nodded decisively. He wasn't greedy for wealth, nor did he care about becoming a shareholder of the Xin Qing Group. Wu Feng only cared about one thing, whether Gu Xinqing was happy. From Zhao Ping's arrogant attitude just now, it was evident that the situation at Xin Qing Group was bleak. With a decisive stroke, Wu Feng signed his name directly. Thus, he became the largest shareholder with 51% ownership of Xin Qing Group. Gu Xinqing smiled and said, "Now that the contract is signed, come report tomorrow morning. I'll assign you some tasks." No problem. Wu Feng sat beside Gu Xinqing with a smile. "Big sister, now that I'm part of your company, shouldn't you tell me about the company's affairs?" Gu Xinqing said, "We have to go back 8 years to explain." But Wu Feng shook his head. "Big sister, what I want to hear is not about that." Gu Xinqing lightly pursed her red lips, lowering her head slightly. Wu Feng grabbed her hand, asking seriously, "Who is this Xiao Ping? What's going on with tomorrow's shareholders' meeting?" "It's complicated." Gu Xinqing shook her head, her expression changing from joy to bitterness. Wu Feng added, "Then take your time. We can discuss company matters at home if needed." "All right, I'll tell you." Gu Xinqing shook her head helplessly. She knew her younger brother Wu Feng was always one to dig deeper into things. 8 years ago, Gu Xinqing single-handedly founded Xin Qing Group, owning more than half of the company's shares. She was not only the chairman, but also the CEO of the group, becoming a well-known female tycoon in Qin City. But tall trees catch much wind. The shareholders of the company all thought highly of themselves, often opposing Gu Xinqing. The father and son Zhao Ping were the most aggressive among them. Because his father was a director of the group, Zhao Ping was arrogant and domineering in the company, never placing Gu Xinqing in his eyes. He not only openly opposed Gu Xinqing, but also colluded with other shareholders within the group to oppose her. Half a year ago, Gu Xinqing spent 3 years developing the cosmetic product Hualei, which was waiting to be launched. But regardless of the reason, the shareholders collectively opposed it. Each time at the general meeting, their veto led to the company's performance declining for 2 consecutive quarters. Many of Gu Xinqing's decisions couldn't be implemented, causing numerous obstacles. "They oppose you at every turn, clearly aiming to oust you from the position of chairman and CEO. Wu Feng pinpointed the key issue: they're forcing me to relinquish power. Otherwise, if things continue as they are, the company's ultimate fate will be bankruptcy." Gu Xinqing shook her head helplessly, her eyes slightly reddening. She rarely mentioned these things to anyone. "A bunch of shameless scoundrels." Wu Feng said firmly, "Now that I'm a major shareholder of the group, I will unconditionally support you, big sister." "Thank you, little brother." Gu Xinqing hugged Wu Feng excitedly, tears streaming down her face. According to the company's rules and regulations, the chairman had a veto power. But all shareholders had the collective power to veto the chairman. Wu Feng's entry directly broke this rule. As long as he cast a vote in favor, the opposition of other shareholders would be rendered invalid. Wu Feng gently patted Gu Xinqing's back. "From childhood to adulthood, it's always been you helping me. Today, it's my turn to help you." Sob, sob, sob. Gu Xinqing burst into tears, tears of happiness streaming down her face. That night, after returning home, Gu Xinqing slept soundly and even had a sweet dream. Early the next morning, Wu Feng changed into a handsome suit and arrived at Xin Qing Group early. He was greeted by a beautiful woman. "Hello, I'm Miss Gu's assistant, Xiaoya." Xiaoya smiled at Wu Feng, revealing a row of white teeth. Xiaoya had just graduated from university, with a pure face and a hint of blush on her cheeks. Although petite, her figure was just right, enough to make men praise her as a cute girl upon seeing her. "Hello." Wu Feng smiled, shaking her petite hand. Big sister had become stunningly beautiful, and even her assistant was so beautiful. Working with such a beautiful girl in the future would surely be a happy experience. Xiaoya continued, "Miss Gu has arranged for you to be the deputy general manager and director of the security department." Such a high position? Wu Feng was stunned, thinking that his sister was indeed considerate. Miss Gu said, "As long as you manage the security department, being the deputy general manager is just a nominal position for salary." Xiaoya led Wu Feng downstairs to report to the security department. The security department was right downstairs in the company, and it was now the time for work in the morning. Captain Bai DePeo was excitedly telling his subordinates in the department, "Later, I will announce some good news to everyone." "What good news?" the security guards below asked one after another. Bai DePeo happily said, "The vacancy for the security manager in the company has finally been filled." "Guess who it is?" "It must be Captain Bai, you." "Exactly, Captain, you've worked hard in the company. If you're not the manager, it's unfair. Captain, you have to treat us tonight." Bai DePeo laughed heartily, raising his head. "Ha ha." The door creaked open, and Assistant Xiaoya led Wu Feng in. Bai DePeo quickly reached out in a welcoming gesture. Xiaoya smiled faintly. "I have an announcement to make to everyone." Chapter 17, Opening Move to Deter the Security Department. Bai DePeo rubbed his hands excitedly. Years of patience finally paid off, as he ascended from captain to general manager. In his pursuit of this managerial position, the company's HR manager, Bai Ming, had handed him 50,000 yuan in cash. Bai Ming had promised him the position of security manager with a firm commitment. One of the security guards inquired from below, "Assistant Xiaoya, is the position of security manager no longer vacant?" "That's correct." Xiaoya nodded with a smile. "The position of security manager will be filled by Comrade Wu Feng, who has recently joined us." As soon as her words fell, the entire security room fell into a sudden, eerie silence. Captain Bai DePeo's expression turned as ugly as a pig's liver. "Assistant Xiaoya, are you mistaken? Wasn't the position of security manager meant for me, Bai DePeo?" he questioned. Xiaoya shook her head, explaining, "This is Miss Gu's decision." "Miss Gu?" Bai DePeo nodded heavily. He looked towards the newcomer, Wu Feng, with fury blazing in his eyes. He had been outmaneuvered. The promised promotion, pay raise, and the pursuit of a beautiful woman were all shattered. Worse, the 50,000 yuan he spent on connections might as well have been thrown into the river. "Let's welcome Manager Wu and invite him to say a few words." Xiaoya clapped her hands, hoping to liven up the atmosphere in the department. However, no security guard responded to her words. The air was thick with tension. Bai DePeo waved his hand. "Assistant Xiaoya, you can go about your business. We'll discuss work matters ourselves." Assistant Xiaoya felt embarrassed, casting a glance at Wu Feng. Wu Feng smiled faintly. "Don't worry, attend to your own work. I can handle this myself." "Very well, I'll take my leave then." Xiaoya nodded, seeing that Wu Feng was capable and didn't need her intervention. She quickly left the security room. Bam! Bai DePeo shut the door of the security department, reclining on the sofa, lighting a cigarette, completely disregarding Wu Feng's authority. Not only that, Bai DePeo even asked Wu Feng, "New manager, got a light? Give me a light." Wu Feng chuckled, his new position barely warmed up, yet his subordinate dared to challenge him? "Manager Wu, I'm talking to you." Bai DePeo widened his eyes, completely dismissing the authority of his new manager. Wu Feng shook his head. "Sorry, I didn't bring a lighter." "Zhang Er, give Manager Wu a lighter." Bai DePeo gestured towards a security guard beside him. The security guard, called Zhang Er, immediately took out a lighter and handed it to Wu Feng. The implication was clear. Bai DePeo wanted Wu Feng, the manager, to bow down and light his cigarette. But would Wu Feng kneel to a subordinate? He threw the lighter to the ground and crushed it underfoot. In an instant, dozens of security guards' eyes turned towards the new security manager, Wu Feng. Bai DePeo, his eyes wide, slowly stood up, glaring fiercely at Wu Feng. Other security guards, intimidated by Bai DePeo, began to retreat, murmuring softly. "I heard Bai DePeo spent 50,000 to grease some palms. He must be furious now." 50,000? I heard it was 100,000. Either way, the new manager is in for a rough time. Bai DePeo is a retired Special Forces soldier, an international champion in mixed martial arts. If he gets angry, the heavens will tremble. Do you know how the security department gets things done? With fists. The enraged Bai DePeo revealed his right fist, threatening Wu Feng, while extending his left hand to grab Wu Feng's collar. But who was Wu Feng? A kingpin of the underground world. In terms of combat power, all the security guards in the room combined were not worthy to tie his shoelaces. So, in the moment Bai DePeo struck, Wu Feng countered, grabbing Bai DePeo's wrist. Then came a reversal, followed by a punch. Thunk! Bai DePeo was sent flying to the ground. Oh my god! The watching security guards exclaimed in shock. Bai DePeo was the undisputed kingpin in their eyes, someone never to be provoked. Who would have thought the new manager would be even fiercer? With one move, he subdued his opponent, without any hesitation. Wu Feng spoke, "Now, do you think my fists are strong enough? Am I qualified to be your leader? You sneak attacked me. Try again, and I'll make you cry." Bai DePeo wiped the blood from his nose, slowly standing up with grandiose aura. "Very well." Wu Feng nodded, gesturing, "I'll give you another chance. Watch how I finish you today." With these words, Bai DePeo flew towards Wu Feng like a cannonball, his fist aiming for Wu Feng's face. In the moment of closeness, Wu Feng kicked out. Thunk! Bai DePeo was sent flying, crashing through the glass of the security department, landing in a sorry heap in the flower bed outside. Damn! The security guards exclaimed once more, their gazes towards Wu Feng changing instantly. This was the true kingpin of the security department. Leaning back on the sofa, Wu Feng took out a cigarette and placed it between his lips, casually asking, "Any chance of a light?" In an instant, the security guards surrounded him, pulling out lighters to light Wu Feng's cigarette. "Manager, let me light it for you." "Manager, I've got some good cigarettes." "Manager, you're so handsome." Wu Feng smiled as he smoked, showing a smile to everyone. "Do any of you still doubt my ability to be your manager?" "None. Besides you, no one is qualified to be the manager." "It's perfect, this position was made for you." The security guards flattered, without Wu Feng needing to say a word. They took the initiative to give him massages, bring him tea, and serve him water. Zhang Er reported to Wu Feng, "Manager, Bai DePeo is missing." Wu Feng said, "He probably went to the hospital to get treated." Zhang Er said, "No, he might be seeking revenge on you." "Revenge on me?" Wu Feng was surprised. "Yes." Zhang Er nodded. "He has connections, his cousin is the HR manager, Bai Ming. Bai DePeo spent a lot of money just to become the security manager. Now, he didn't get the position, and you've beaten him. He's definitely going to seek revenge." "That's great, I was afraid he wouldn't retaliate." Wu Feng laughed. He was a major shareholder of the. Chapter 18, Whom Shall You Dismiss? Here, Bai DePeo, with his head soaked in blood, rushed into the Human Resources Department. Minister Bai Ming, who was flirting with his female subordinate, was so frightened by his cousin's appearance that he trembled. "DePeo, what is the meaning of this?" Bai Ming's complexion turned grave. "I've showered you with money and gifts, why won't you appoint me as the head of security?" Bai DePeo erupted in fury. Bai Ming's expression changed, waving his hand dismissively, "Everyone, leave us. I need to have a private conversation with Captain Bai." In fact, the employees all quickly exited the department. Bai Ming hastily helped Bai DePeo to sit down and began to dress his wounds with gauze. At the same time, he inquired, "Can we discuss this matter face to face? How did it come to this?" Bai DePeo bellowed, "The new security manager just gave me a beating." "Nonsense, absolute nonsense. All matters in the Human Resources Department must pass through my hands, and I haven't appointed a security manager." Bai Ming remained confident. Bai DePeo retorted, "It was Assistant Xiaoya from Mr. Gu's office who arranged it." Bai Ming suddenly felt flustered, quickly opened his computer, and checked the personnel appointments in the security department. Indeed, he saw that someone named Wu Feng had been appointed as the security director. Bai Ming's expression suddenly turned extremely ugly. "I've not treated you unfairly at all, why would you set me up like this?" Bai DePeo angrily exclaimed. "Misunderstanding, it's definitely a misunderstanding." Bai Ming waved his hand, explaining, "This was arranged by the chairman without my knowledge." Bai DePeo grimaced, saying, "I don't care. I insist on being the security manager. Otherwise, return the 50,000 to me." Bai Ming chuckled, "The money won't be returned, but I can dismiss this Wu Feng. In a while, you'll be appointed as the manager." "Really? How did you dismiss him?" Bai DePeo inquired eagerly. "Are you daft?" Bai Ming pointed at Bai DePeo's head, "Just his assault on you alone is grounds for dismissal." "Truly?" Bai DePeo exclaimed excitedly. "Indeed, first go to the hospital for a checkup. Once you're back, prepare to take over as manager," Bai Ming declared firmly. "Thank you, Ming Ji." Bai DePeo happily skipped out of the Human Resources Department immediately. He he picked up the landline and dialed the security department. Hello, I'm Bai Ming, the Minister of Human Resources. Have Manager Wu Feng come to the Human Resources Department immediately. Understood, I'll relay the message, came the response from the other end of the phone. Bai Ming hung up the phone, tapping his desk incessantly, his emotions somewhat unstable. Clang! The door of the Human Resources Department was pushed open, and Wu Feng walked in. You must be Wu Feng, the new security manager? Bai Ming asked while organizing documents. That's me. Is there something wrong? Wu Feng responded indifferently. Humph. Bai Ming snorted disdainfully, tossing a resignation form onto the table. Fill out the resignation form, and you can leave immediately. Bai Ming commanded. Wu Feng smiled. What do you mean? You want to fire me? Isn't that obvious? Bai Ming shook his head, derisively stating, You assault someone on your first day of work. If I don't fire you, should I fire myself? Wu Feng nodded. You're right, I should fire you. Smack! Bai Ming's hand slammed on the table. Are you insane? Wu Feng coldly snorted. I don't believe the rumors that you've taken bribes from Bai DePeo. Now it's confirmed. Nonsense, what bribe did I take? Even if it's true, what's it got to do with you? Bai Ming arrogantly looked at Wu Feng, feeling self-satisfied. Wu Feng, holding his shoulders, spoke coldly, It seems you're admitting it. Bai Ming snorted, Let me tell you, Bai DePeo is my younger brother. Originally, I intended to let him become the security manager. You intervened and even dared to assault someone? Are you courting death? You imbecile. It appears the group is indeed rotten. A mere Minister of Human Resources dares to take bribes publicly. Bai Ming laughed. Who do you think you are? Did your family found this group? Dare to dismiss me, ha! Wu Feng nodded. You're right, our family did found this group, and I am also the vice president of the group. Ha ha ha! Bai Ming burst into laughter. Your family founded the group, and you're a vice president? You're a riot. If you're really a vice president, I'll kneel down and lick your shoes. Am I blind? Can't I see your job plaque? Bullshit. Wu Feng shrugged, seeming indifferent. If you really enjoy licking shoes, I won't object. You're giving me face, huh? I'll call Mr. Gu right now. Let's see if you dare to be so audacious. Enraged, Bai Ming grabbed the landline and dialed Gu Xianqing's number. Mr. Gu, I have an urgent matter. Come over here. Bai Ming exclaimed into the phone. Wu Feng remained unfazed, simply sitting down on the sofa, crossing his legs. You're quite arrogant. Just wait. Bai Ming pointed angrily at Wu Feng. Before long, the office door was pushed open. Gu Xianqing entered the Human Resources Department. Bai Ming immediately rushed over to give a report. Mr. Gu, this person, Wu Feng, the security manager, assaulted someone on his first day, falsely claimed to be a vice president, and even said that the group belongs to his family. Gu Xianqing, with a cold smile, commented, I think, Bai Ming, you're the one who resembles more of a joke now. Bai Ming's face immediately fell. What do you mean by that? Gu Xianqing walked to the desk, pulled out Wu Feng's employment contract, and threw it onto the table. Wu Feng is my younger brother, and the group belongs to me. If he says it's our family's, then what's the issue? Furthermore, take a good look. Wu Feng isn't just the company's security manager, he's also the company's vice president. So, Minister Bai, do you have any authority to dismiss a vice president? Bloody hell! Bai Ming was dumbfounded, staring at Wu Feng in disbelief. Previously, when Wu Feng claimed to be a vice president, Bai Ming thought he was boasting. He didn't expect the group to really belong to their family. Cough cough. Wu Feng cleared his throat. Oops, this shoe's a bit dirty. This. Bai Ming stood frozen in place, feeling like crying but having no tears. Why did he have to pick a fight? With the brother of the CEO? Now, he's in big trouble. Wu Feng smiled at Bai Ming, then turned to Gu Xianqing. Big sister, since I'm a vice president, do I have the authority to dismiss Bai Ming? Of course. Gu Xianqing nodded. In this company, you're above everyone else. That's great. Wu Feng grinned, pointing at Bai Ming. You can pack up and leave now. Me? Bai Ming pointed at himself in disbelief. Are you really firing me? Gu Xianqing questioned by Ming, Minister, do you have any objections to a vice president dismissing you? Chapter 19, The Ambition of Vice President Zhao. Vice President Wu, it's all a misunderstanding. Bai Ming hastily gestured, a servile smile plastered on his face. Misunderstanding? Wu Feng coldly snorted, accepting bribes from Bai Depeo, arbitrarily arranging company positions, any of these alone is sufficient grounds for your dismissal. Are you harboring resentment because Bai Depeo didn't become the security manager? Shall I call him now? Gu Xianqing also chimed in, serious violations of company discipline are enough to land you on the HR blacklist. Plunk! Bai Ming directly knelt on the ground. President Gu, I've erred. I implore you, for the sake of our years of camaraderie, spare me this once. Being dismissed wasn't the issue. Once on the HR blacklist, no other company would hire him. With Gu Xianqing's influence in Qin City, he might never find new employment there, potentially ending his career prematurely. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Gu Xianqing shook her head and left the Human Resources Department. Wu Ji, Vice President Wu, please help me, I beg of you. Bai Ming hurriedly crawled in front of Wu Feng, using his sleeve to wipe Wu Feng's shoes. I was wrong, terribly wrong, Vice President Wu, I'm ready to lick your shoes now. Bai Ming's demeanor became even more obsequious. Wu Feng kicked him aside with one foot. You're not even worthy of licking my shoes, you disgust me. Rather than feeling humiliated, Bai Ming became even more servile. As long as you don't blacklist me, I'm willing to exchange a secret with you. What secret? Let's hear it, Wu Feng asked, curious about what secret Bai Ming could possibly have. Bai Ming leaned in, whispering, someone in the company once installed a bug in President Gu's car. Is that so? Wu Feng's expression immediately turned grave. Absolutely, I saw it with my own eyes. Bai Ming nodded repeatedly. Who was it? Wu Feng inquired. Bai Ming shook his head, I don't know, the person was wearing a mask and a baseball cap. Alright, you can have double pay and leave. Wu Feng waved his hand dismissively. Thank you for your mercy, Vice President Wu, thank you for sparing my life. Bai Ming expressed his gratitude and promptly left after packing his things. Wu Feng left the Human Resources Department and immediately headed to the parking lot. Arriving at his Land Rover, he pulled out his detection equipment and thoroughly checked both inside and outside the vehicle. Indeed, he found 3 GPS trackers and 2 bugs hidden inside the car. Judging by their installation status, they were recently placed. For Wu Feng, finding the culprit was effortless. He deactivated all 5 devices. Then, he took the elevator and went straight to Assistant Xiaoya's office. Locks. Xiaoya hastily stood up from her typing. I need to use your computer. Wu Feng didn't beat around the bush, sitting down at the computer without hesitation. No problem. Xiaoya turned to pour hot water for Wu Feng. Wu Feng opened the computer's browser and quickly identified the online merchants who sold the 5 devices through their identification codes. Once the hotspots of suspicion were isolated, identifying who bought the bugs and who installed them was a breeze in the age of the internet. After a swift sorting through the orders, Wu Feng finally narrowed down a suspect. It was highly likely that Zhao Ping was the purchaser of the eavesdropping devices. As long as he could find evidence of Zhao Ping installing the bugs, he could bring down the Zhao father and son, clearing obstacles for Gu Xianqing within the company. With a determined spirit, Wu Feng left. This time, he went to the monitoring room and quickly found the evidence he sought by restoring the surveillance data. One afternoon half a month ago, Zhao Ping, wearing a mask and a baseball cap, stealthily installed GPS trackers and bugs in the underground parking lot. Just as Bai Ming said, the perpetrator's face was obscured in a foolish move. Zhao Ping came to the monitoring room and deleted the video surveillance records of the underground parking lot. He forgot one thing, there were surveillance cameras in the monitoring room as well. By juxtaposing these 2 video segments, Zhao Ping's guilt was unmistakable. Wu Feng immediately went to meet with his elder sister, Gu Xianqing. Upon hearing the news, Gu Xianqing's back chilled with a shiver. She hadn't expected Zhao Ping to be so shameless. Wu Di, don't rush. Keep this evidence safe, we'll need it for the board meeting later. Understood. Wu Feng nodded. At this moment, Zhao Ping had already entered the company's conference room upstairs. The major shareholders had taken their seats, and upon seeing Zhao Ping's arrival, they all rose to greet him. Vice President Zhao, you seem to be in good spirits today. Vice President Zhao, would you like to try my newly arrived green tea? Vice President Zhao, please have a seat, let me pull out a chair for you. Heartfelt Group, with Gu Xianqing as its largest shareholder, and Zhao's father as the second largest shareholder originally, Zhao's father and Gu Xianqing simply had a strained relationship. However, Zhao's father fell seriously ill 6 months ago and was resting at home. Zhao Ping directly took over his father's voting rights as a shareholder. Leveraging his status as the second largest shareholder and vice president, he openly opposed Gu Xianqing. Zhao Ping took advantage of every opportunity to cozy up to Wang Busi, his rival. Under his management, the group became chaotic, many veteran employees were fired, and he fervently installed his own loyalists. Thank you, uncles and aunties. Zhao Ping laughed heartily as he took his place in the chairman's seat. Other astute shareholders immediately caught on Mr. Zhao, are you planning to stage a grand performance for us today? Zhao Ping patted the chairman's chair. It's just a seat, anyone can sit here. Why should a woman like Gu Xianqing be allowed to sit here all day? We'll confront her to the end. The shareholders immediately began to flatter Zhao Ping. Mr. Zhao is absolutely right. With such a large company in the hands of a woman, it will collapse sooner or later. With Mr. Zhao's talent, you can make the company go public within 3 years and enter the top 10 companies in Hebei province. Ha ha ha. Zhao Ping burst into laughter. Chapter 20, The Vice President Pressures Gu Xianqing. With a creak, the doors of the conference room swung open. Gu Xianqing, clad in a sleek professional suit, strode briskly into the meeting room. At that moment, silence fell upon everyone present. Echoing through the hall, the distinct sound of high heels striking the floor could be heard. With a crisp snap, Gu Xianqing placed her folder on the table, her gaze fixating on Zhao Ping. Since President Gu has arrived, shall we commence the meeting? Zhao Ping spoke up, his demeanor brash. Showing no intention of relinquishing his seat, he exuded the demeanor of a chairman of the conglomerate. Gu Xianqing spoke up, would Vice President Zhao please take his seat? Why, do you fancy this seat so much? Zhao Ping stared at Gu Xianqing, his eyes glinting with hostility. Whether she fancies it or not is irrelevant. What matters is that you're not qualified to sit there. All eyes turned towards the entrance of the conference room. Wu Feng, clad in a suit with the security manager's badge still hanging from it, strode into the room. Upon seeing this familiar face, Zhao Ping erupted in fury, rising from his seat to interrogate, "How dare you show up here? Do you have any authority over me?" Wu Feng ignored him completely, walking straight in. Zhao Ping bellowed, "Get out! This shareholders' meeting has nothing to do with you. Who do you think you are?" Wu Feng immediately retorted, "I am your father." "What the hell are you saying? Say it again," Zhao Ping demanded. "I am your father's friend's colleague's superior subordinate's sister's brother," Wu Feng quipped. Infuriated, Zhao Ping shouted, "I don't have the patience for riddles. I'll say it again, get out. I advise you, mind your tone, or you might find yourself in trouble." Wu Feng grinned, his words causing Zhao Ping's sphincter to clench as he recalled the incident in the cafe. "You." Zhao Ping sneered, turning his gaze towards Gu Xianqing, only to hear, "President Gu, it's one thing to keep a toy boy, but bringing him into the company? Have you no shame?" Other directors also chimed in, admonishing Gu Xianqing. "President Gu, I don't care about your personal affairs, but allowing him to attend the board meeting? That's an issue. Yes, this is a board meeting. What's a security guard doing here? President Gu, we understand your dissatisfaction, but bringing an employee here? Unacceptable. Are you trying to disgust us with this person, or are you trying to sabotage yourself? Enough." Gu Xianqing said coldly, "Wu Feng was recruited by me, and he is qualified to attend this board meeting." Ha ha ha. Zhao Ping burst into laughter. "President Gu, are you joking? President Gu, have you taken the wrong medication? A mere security guard, qualified to attend a board meeting? Even if he's the security manager, so what? He's not qualified to stay here." Gu Xianqing remained steadfast, "I've said he is, and he is. I'll provide you all with a satisfactory explanation." Upon hearing this, Zhao Ping laughed, "Looks like President Gu was prepared." Gu Xianqing said, "If there are no further questions, let's begin today's board meeting immediately." Zhao Ping nodded, gesturing towards Wu Feng. Fine, I won't chase you, the stinking security guard. Out, I want to see what excuses Gu Xianqing has for keeping you here. You'll find out soon. Wu Feng stood in front of Zhao Ping, the two locking horns. Everyone, please take your seats, and let's begin. Zhao Ping snorted coldly, preparing to sit down. With swift hands, Wu Feng promptly pulled the chair away. Thud. Zhao Ping plopped onto the ground unceremoniously. Furrowing his brows and clutching his behind, Zhao Ping roared, "Are you looking to die?" Wu Feng chuckled, "I've said it, you can't sit in this seat. Yet you insisted on sitting here with a thick face. Aren't you asking for trouble?" You. Zhao Ping trailed off. Mr. Zhao, don't compare yourself to a mere security guard. Exactly, let's start today's board meeting. After today, certain individuals might never set foot in a board meeting again. Zhao Ping nodded and took a seat nearby. After all, today was the day to pressure Gu Xianqing to step down, and this little delay wouldn't matter. Since Gu Xianqing brought in reinforcements, let her make a fool of herself in front of her subordinates today. Let's see how Gu Xianqing handles this situation. The shareholders took their seats one by one. Gu Xianqing returned to her chairman's seat, with Wu Feng standing behind her. Assistant Xiaoya opened the projector curtain and pulled up the PowerPoint presentation. Good afternoon, esteemed directors. The main topic for discussion at this meeting is the launch of Heartfelt Group's new product, Blossom. Before Xiaoya could finish her sentence, Zhao Ping interrupted, President Gu, is this even interesting? What do you mean? Gu Xianqing stared at Zhao Ping standing up. Zhao Ping leaned over the table, looking down at the shareholders present. Ladies and gentlemen, if I recall correctly, for the past 3 months, every agenda of the company's meetings has been about launching Blossom, right? That's right. We've been discussing it for 3 months, and no one agrees with President Gu's idea. This shows that President Gu's decision is wrong. There's no need to launch this product. President Gu, it's not that we don't support you, but your product has issues. Gu Xianqing spoke up, ladies and gentlemen, Blossom is a new product that the company has painstakingly developed over 3 years. Once released in the market, it may become the company's trump card for turning the tide. I understand that you don't agree, but this is the 18th revision of my plan. Even if I implore you, please at least review my revised plan before making a decision. It's unnecessary. I see no need for it at all. Zhao Ping shook his head. The other shareholders followed suit, echoing his sentiments. President Gu, your surname might be Gu, but why are you so stubborn? When you make a decision that receives unanimous opposition from all members, it means it's wrong. If your decision is right, why hasn't a single shareholder supported you? Gu Xianqing took a deep breath. Everyone present is a veteran. The company's performance has been declining year after year, and we've reached a bottleneck. If we don't seek a breakthrough, the company will inevitably perish. Don't you understand this logic? I understand why you oppose my decision. I ask you to consider carefully, is everything you're doing now worth it?